As the sun sets over mid-Michigan, the sports spirit ignites. Volleyballs soar, echoing the determination of champions. The gridiron roars to life as student-athletes clash in a dance of skill, strength, and strategy. Basketball courts pulse with energy, each dribble a heartbeat of the game. As winter turns to spring, the diamonds will glisten under the sun, a stage for baseball and softball glory and triumph. Fans unite in a symphony of support for their beloved teams. Amid cheers and tears, memories are etched into the tapestry of time. Join us as we journey through the magic that is high school sports. It's time for high school football on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Hello and welcome to Beal City High School and Frank A. Schaefer Field for homecoming night in Beal City. Not a whole lot like it. We've got some big-time games going on in the rest of the Mid-Michigan area. Welcome to our GI Tech pregame show. Chris Bachman on the mic, Adam Gursky on the camera as we bring you 2-1 Beal City versus 2-1 Houghton Lake. And these two teams come in after completely different games last week, opposite weeks last week. Beal, a dramatic loss, 29-25 to McBain here at home. Houghton Lake, a very dramatic 3 overtime win. We'll talk quite a bit about that as the night goes on because there were some crazy things that happened with Houghton Lake and Manton last week when I talked with Coach Searsaw earlier today. Well, I guess late last night, but you could have caught the podcast earlier today with Coach Searsaw and Coach Gross. Big shout out to both of those guys for taking some time to catch up with me. But it's Aggie homecoming football here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Aggies come in at 2-1, Houghton Lake at 2-1, and Coach Searsaw said the rare time that we are ever ahead of Beal City in the standings, and so it's just kind of an opposite field tonight for both of these teams. Like I said, triple overtime win last week for Houghton Lake, and a dramatic loss late for Beal City last week with Houghton Lake. And both these teams have got a lot of sophomores on the roster, something I'll also talk about a whole lot. But it is homecoming at Frank A. Schaefer Field. And as the Nature Boy says, you got to be the man to beat the man. Who's the favorite in this game? Well, they're both 2-1 on the season, but Beal City 4-0 all-time versus Houghton Lake in the 4 years they've met since they joined the Highland Conference minus the COVID year. The combined score, 175-22. So Beal City, in my mind, still the favorite here today with both teams coming in at the 2-1 record. Says Nature Boy said it. To be the man, you got to beat the man. That's what Houghton Lake is trying to do here tonight. Start to make some noise in that Highland Conference under, what I think, second year of Ryan Searsaw. And players to watch out for, there's a whole bunch of them for Beal City. And there's a few guys for Houghton Lake, but they have got one dude on their team to really watch out for. He had a kick return touchdown last week. He ran for a touchdown, and he also threw a touchdown last week. We'll talk about Kane Graham and some of the other players to watch when we come back here on the GI Tech pregame show. It is the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Hey, Rowan. Want to toss the ball around?
No, thanks.
A quick game of chess?
Maybe later.
Want me to teach you to ride a bike?
Papa, we did all that when I was little.
I guess you're right. Marbury Law's kept me so busy, time has just flown by.
There is one thing, though. You got any cookies?
Thought you'd never ask.
For over 4 decades, ENS Graphics has delivered confidence, trust, and peace of mind by providing their customers with expert service and using state-of-the-art technology. We all know in sports, what's on the inside counts the most. But when it comes to your business, school, organization, what's on the outside does matter. If your business needs anything printed, ENS Graphics can do it. If you want your club, team, organization to look good, ENS can help with that. They take your vision and make it their mission. ENS Graphics, a proud supporter of the Mid-Michigan community and their local athletes. Visit ENS Graphics at their location down in Ithaca or visit their website at esgraphics.com. ENS Graphics, printing all things physical.
Welcome back inside our GI Tech pregame show. Chris Bachman and Adam Gursky. Beal City homecoming night tonight. And as I mentioned, Kane Graham can do it all. We will see him line up at running back. We will see him line up at wide receiver. We will also see him play some quarterback as well. When number 5 is out there, that is the guy to watch for the Houghton Lake Bobcats. But don't let me sell it short for Tyler Bailey, who also had 3 touchdowns last week. And that dramatic 54-46 win over Houghton Lake that went 3 overtimes. Again, we'll talk more about that game as things go on. But for Beal City, guys to watch out for, it's just kind of a laundry list at this point. Owen McKenny, Drew Block, Wyatt Wilson, Kyle Martin in the kicking game has been huge. And Eric Elias, I'm really excited to see what he's going to do tonight. Braxton Bukovich, Garrison Zucker had 2 big touchdown catches last week against McBain. And so that's kind of my key to the victory here. If you're Beal City, you got to feel like if you can shut down Kane Graham, you can come out of here with a victory. But if you are Houghton Lake, there's a whole host of guys that you're going to have to shut down. Starters across the offensive line for Houghton Lake. Sophomore Nick Trader, junior Deron Palmer, sophomore Andrew Oster, senior Brady Oster. At right tackle, junior Ben Snyder. At quarterback will be Sean Scotchalis, but we'll also see Kane Graham take some snaps as well. Catching the ball, running the ball, Logan Bourne, Liam Dean, Colin Hamp, Ryan Gallia, the aforementioned Kane Graham, and Tyler Bailey. Again, they scored 54 last week against Manton, and so they're going to be ready to put up some points here this week. The defensive starters for Beal City. The defensive backfield, very, very experienced with 4 seniors back there. Drew Block, Owen McKinney, Kyle Martin. Across the linebacking core, Drake Gatrill, Wyatt Wilson, Braxton Bukovich. And across that defensive line, Parker Sienkiewicz, Nick Irvin, Jacob Beitler, and Caleb Leonard. We'll kind of figure out who won the coin toss together. It's here on the GI Tech pregame show. Your starters on offense for Beal City. We'll kind of run right through them across the offensive line. Jacob Beitler, Wyatt Wilson, Hunter McDonald, Caleb Leonard, Jace Faber, tight ends. Kyle Martin, Drake Gatrill. Running the ball will be Owen McKinney, Drew Block, Austin Small, Braxton Bukovich, Garrison Zucker, Aaron Locke, Neil Finnerty. You might see some Eric Elias out there as well. Again, a whole host of guys who can run the football for this Beal City Aggie football team. And they're going to be ready to run it here tonight in Houghton Lake because it's a little slippery. It's a little sticky here on this September evening as we get ready to kind of roll into fall here. But it's homecoming football. Beal City, Houghton Lake, coming right up here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Big shout out to some of our great sponsors. We're coming to you from the Barberry Law Studios. We'll have that Gates Drilling and Service halftime report. We'll talk about the Bills' custom fab fabrication of the game throughout. And then we'll talk about the Zaid Batchel, their baller of the game, the Bills' custom fab fabrication of the game as we head on into that Bird All-American Grill post-game show. Also, thanks to J&J Auto Collision, Konwinski Construction, our friends at Schaefer's Bait and Sporting Goods, Mid-Michigan Industries, WW Construction, just a whole host of people to thank for making it possible for me to be here to bring you these games. Just an absolute pleasure. When we come back, it'll be the opening kick. Thanks so much for tuning to the GI Tech pregame show. It's Beal City, Houghton Lake, coming right up on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, open every day but Sunday for lunch and dinner. Delicious pizza, the world-famous Bird Burger, handcrafted, fresh-baked subs, many apps, and much more. There's something for everyone at The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, where friends gather like family. The Bird, supporting high school sports in mid-Michigan for nearly 100 years.
Jenna Gates
and Kyle Gates here. We are the 5th generation with Gates Drilling and Service.
We've been serving our friends and neighbors in Michigan since 1893.
We have the latest and greatest well drilling technology, allowing us to put in wells where others can't.
Lake lots and tight spaces are no problem.
From our family to yours, thank you, and call at 989-772-7841 for all your well drilling and service needs.
Gates Drilling and Service, where Gates goes, water flows.
Bill's Custom Fab can handle any job you need, from large-scale steel building projects to fixing your favorite stainless serving pan. Bill's Custom Fab can weld and fabricate anything. Call today at 989-772-5817 or stop by on Gover Parkway in Mount Pleasant. Good luck to all of our local athletes from Bill's Custom Fab.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
A wonderful rendition of the national anthem from the Beal City Marching Band. And we are just about set for opening kickoff. Beal City, Houghton Lake here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Other games happening in the Mid-Michigan area tonight that we'll hopefully be getting some updates from. Mount Pleasant hosting Traverse City Central, and it's Hall of Fame night in Mount Pleasant. Big shout out to the McCann family. I know they are there celebrating. That's why my main man Thomas McCann is not here with me calling this game. He is celebrating his older brother, his older sister going into the Oiler Hall of Fame. And I believe Bubba McClain told me earlier that they're the first ever brother-sister combo to get into the Hall of Fame together, and also going in on the same year. Pretty special night for the McCann crew in Mount Pleasant, so a big shout to them and our friends at Boomers Lawn Care. Clara's at Gladwin tonight, a huge game in the Jack Pine Conference. Ithaca is at Carleton. Sacred Heart Academy kind of way down in Byron, and Shepherd with a tough one hosting Ogama Heights. Matter of fact, it's already 8-0 Ogama Heights, as I've already got an update coming from Allison Curtis from the Bird All-American Grill in downtown Mount Pleasant. And so very, very young Shepherd Blue Jay team. They're going to continue to roll with the punches this year, and they're going to bring 15, 16 starters back for 2 years or so. And so bright future ahead for the Blue Jays. But sometimes when you're a younger team, you got to take your lickings. And that's what happened a little bit last week with the Beal City Aggies. Again, they were right in the game. They fell 29-25, I believe it was, to McBain. And they had the ball on the 10-yard line with about a minute or so to go. Ultimately fumbled the football back to McBain, and that was the end of the game. But it was even more dramatic for Houghton Lake last week. They won in triple overtime, and I believe it was the second overtime. Coach Ryan Searsaw told me they came out ready for, well, they weren't quite ready to come out for defense, and they looked out there, and Manton was running a play with no defensive players on the field for Houghton Lake. So obviously they scored, but Houghton Lake was able to battle back from that situation, get into the end zone, get the two-point conversion themselves, and ultimately went on to win in triple overtime. So I feel like these two teams coming in with different phases of momentum, but Beal City, off a loss, pretty darn good. You take away their two losing seasons in the 2000s, they're like 30-2 after a loss. Kick is going to be fielded near the goal line by the Bobcats. Looking for some running room on the far side is the return man. It's going to be a decent return out to about the 32-yard line. That is where the Bobcats will start with the football. And what I'm really looking for tonight, how many times will number 5, Kane Graham, have the football in his hands? Whether it's at quarterback, whether it's at running back, whether it's at wide receiver, he is the guy they want to get the football to. Aggie defensive line. Really stout last week against McBain, according to Coach Gross. Parker Sienkiewicz, Nick Irvin, Jacob Beitler, Caleb Leonard. Those linebackers, it's Bukovich, Wilson, Gatrill. In the defensive backfield, Block, McKenny, Martin, and Small. Quick throw out on the near side. Great tackle in the open field from Mr. Garrison Zucker. There was nowhere for Tyler Bailey to go. And Houghton Lake looking to the sideline for the play. I don't think we're going to see an actual huddle here. As I say that, they kind of drop back into the huddle. But a great open field tackle from Garrison Zucker to open up the game for the Aggies, and it's going to drop the Bobcats back into 2nd and 12. Just joining us very early. We're still scoreless here, but already a touchdown on the board. Stander Sterling on top of Shepherd. Shotgun look for the Bobcats. 4 wide receivers. They're going to send a man in motion. It's Kane Graham. They pitch it to him. He looks to get that outside edge. Giving chase is Gatrill. There's a nice block on the edge. Getting away from one tackle is Kane Graham. He's going to pick up 6 or 7 yards. A great carry there from the senior do-it-everything player for the Bobcats. He could have been brought down after a gain of maybe 3 or 4, but he's able to pick up maybe 6 extra yards. It's going to make it very manageable here on this 3rd down for the Bobcats. And Ryan Searsaw said that was going to be the key to the game for his team. 3rd downs and 4th downs. Can they stay on the field? Can they get off the field on these big situations? Be a run all the way for the Bobcats. It's Graham with it out of his quarterback spot. He's going to be hit hard, very close to the 1st down marker. We're going to see if they will give him 1st down yardage. And so Kane Graham already with 2 carries. They got behind the 6, and they gave it to their senior do-everything man. He made it happen. Big shout out to our friends, Mount Pleasant Heating and AC, Konwinski Construction, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, ENS Graphics, GNS Mechanical, and Weber Brothers Sawmill. We'll talk about that timber of the game throughout the night. And our Bird All-American Grill post-game shoes, kind of playing the best down there on that offensive and defensive line for both teams. Send a man in motion. They fake it to Graham this time, and it's a run all the way for Scotchulis. He's going to pick up maybe 2 yards or so. Nice job by that Beal City defensive line, closing those gaps early. Second down now for Houghton Lake.
3-yard gain on the play, second down.
And apparently already another touchdown out there for Standish Sterling as the updates are coming in fast from Allison Curtis. We continue to update you on all those local games. We're scoreless here. Very tight set for Houghton Lake, and jumping off sides is going to be the big man Ben Snyder out there from his right tackle position. He's one of those guys, once he gets moving forward, you don't want to be in front of him, but when he gets the snap count wrong, he's going to go forward. So that'll back up Houghton Lake 5 yards. It'll stay second down. We'll call it 2nd and 13 now. 9:30 left to go in our first quarter. Beal City 2-1. Houghton Lake 2-1. Here on this football Friday night in Mid-Michigan. Other games coming up on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. We got more volleyball action next Wednesday as Ithaca hosts Hemlock. And next Friday, it's going to be Sacred Heart at Vesterberg or Clare versus Ogama Heights. More on that in just a minute. Rolling out is Scotchulis. He looks to throw it over to Kane Graham. And what a play from Garrison Zucker. Zucker takes out the would-be blocker, throws him back into the would-be receiver for an incomplete pass. That's about as good a defensive play you're going to see from a defensive back, keeping somebody from catching that wide receiver screen. Great play from Garrison Zucker. When I asked Coach Gross who stood out to him last week in the McBain game, that was the first guy he brought up was Garrison Zucker. And, man, he's made a couple nice plays already here on this opening defensive series for Beal City. 3rd down and 12. See if they line Graham up at quarterback. They will not. He's going to be lined up kind of stacked behind a wide receiver to the right side. Scotchulis dropping back, looking to throw. He's looking for Graham. He's got it out there on the out throw. Graham makes a great move to make Garrison Zucker a would-be tackler, and it is going to be first down yardage for Kane Graham. So Kane Graham has touched the ball 3 times here in this first quarter, and each and every time he has made something very big happen for the Bobcats. Sacred Heart Academy up 7-0 here in early going. They take on Byron. Big shout to Andy Tyson Jr. and Allison Curtis sending me updates from the Shepherd game, the Sacred Heart game. Continue to keep you updated all night long and everything happening with our 6 local schools as long as those scores are coming in. I want to bring you everything here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Empty backfield for Scotchulis. They're going to set a man in motion. It's Kane Graham. They fake it to him. Throw the wide receiver screen the opposite way. Nice little misdirection, but it's a great open field tackle from Beal City on the far side of the field. That was Drew Block from his defensive back position. Kind of took on the blocker while making the tackle. Now 2nd down and 7 for the Bobcats near midfield, all at the 49-yard line. Decent opening drive here from the Bobcats. They've picked up 2 first downs, both of them coming from Kane Graham. And Houghton Lake last week talked about Manton's game plan, trying to keep the ball out of their hands. And you know Houghton Lake would not mind doing that here today. They'll go in a hurry. They can obviously score points. They put up 54 last week, but they only had 40 plays to do it. So they're not afraid to score in a hurry and run some clock here in the first quarter. Scotchulis drops back to throw. He's being chased. He's hitting the backfield. He's going to go down. Gatrill lock in the backfield to bring down the quarterback. Call it a half a sack each for the defenders. Now 3rd down and 11, and I've got a pretty good guess that number 5, Kane Graham, is going to get the football here for the Bobcats. And I said it in the pregame show, keys to victory. If you're Beal City, you kind of feel like you got to stop number 5, Kane Graham. If you're Houghton Lake, you feel like you got to stop Owen McKenny, Drew Block, Braxton Bukovich, Kyler Smith, Aaron Locke, and a bunch of others. Here comes the 3rd and 11 play for the Bobcats. Shotgun look for Scotchulis, and they have a man jump off sides. And so instead of 3rd and 11, it's now going to be 3rd down and 16. Not a good situation for the Bobcats. And that quick little timeout. Oh, it's actually going to be offsides against Beal City, so they got him to jump there. And a good job by the officials. I feel like a lot of times you get the benefit of the doubt if you are the offense. or the defense, pardon me, when it comes to the false start. But now, 3rd and 5 or 6, we'll call it here. Shotgun look. It's going to be a wildcat formation for Kane Graham. He wants to run it to the far side of the field. Gatrell gets his hands on it, but Graham's able to turn the corner. He's got first down yardage for the Bobcats once again. A very late flag coming in. And where the official is standing, this one, I believe, is going to be coming back via a hold. Still waiting to see the call from the official, but Graham did pick up the yardage on 3rd down. But it will be all 4 knots. That would have been the 4th time Graham got the football on this drive, the 3rd time he picked up a first down. But we will do 3rd down again. We'll kind of be back where we started with 3rd down and 11 before the penalty. And Hall of Fame night. It's Mount Pleasant hosts TC Central. Big game with Clare going to Gladwin. Already got updates. Sacred Heart Academy on top of Byron 7-0. Shepherd down to Ogama 14-0. And thanks to Andy Tyson Jr., Allison Curtis from the Bird All-American Grill for sending me those updates. I also like to thank our friends Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. Go with Joe if you need anything for your real estate needs. I also thank the official embroiderer of the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, hanging by a thread, their friends at Isabella Bank and Bryant Family Farms. Here comes the 3rd down play. Dropping back, looking to throw. They fake it one way, then go over the middle. It's going to be incomplete, but we do have another flag coming in. The throw was too low for Tyler Bailey, as Scotulus didn't really have a whole lot of room to step into it. And waiting to see what the call is here from the official as they get together near that yellow flag to discuss the penalty. And big penalty coming up here if it's against Beal City. And they're actually going to pick up the flag. And so it's now 4th down and 16 for the Bobcats. 7:11 left to go here in our first quarter. Houghton Lake ran off about half this clock. 2 3rd down conversions, both of them converted by Kane Graham. Now 4th down and long. They're going to have to punt this one away. Back deep to receive the punt for the Aggies is the ever-dangerous senior Austin Small. Ryan Searsaw having a conversation with the white hat right now to make sure everybody is on the same page, but I don't think he's going to get the benefit of the doubt there. And regardless, even if it was some type of penalty on Beal City, still could have been 4th down and 6. So you don't necessarily always get that automatic first down. Does look like the punting unit is now coming out for Houghton Lake. Back deep to punt this one away for the Bobcats is going to be Logan Bourne. And back deep to receive it is Mr. Austin Small. Kind of a spread out punting formation here for the Bobcats. Send it back. Bourne gets the punt off. Not really a whole lot of distance. I feel like they're trying to keep that one away from Austin Small. It'll be down at the 30-yard line. That is where Beal City will take over on their first possession. Just over 7 minutes remaining here in our first quarter. Say Beal City, a little bend, not break there on the defense. Gave up a couple first downs, but ultimately got the stop when the Bobcats put themselves behind the sticks. Now here comes that Aggie offense. It's always dangerous. Head coach Brad Gross. Under center, it's going to be the sophomore, number 13, Kyler Smith. Will actually be lined up in a shotgun here as the Aggies are going to spread them out on first down. Drew Block, Austin Small, Owen McKenny, all wingbacks or wide receivers you could call them. Austin Small gets the handoff, looks to turn that corner. He's going to pick up 5 or 6 yards before he's swung out of bounds. It's a great pull out there, blocking for Beal City. Getting out in front of the play was Reese Hooks, the junior. A little frustrated with himself. He didn't get the pancake there, but still a nice job getting out ahead of the play to give his running back a couple extra yards. 2nd down and 4 for Beal City. Still scoreless here. Again, already had score updates coming. Sacred Heart on top of Byron 7-0. Now 14-0. Brendan Irvin scores from the 2. Sacred Heart Academy looking real good. Things not looking so good from Shepherd as they're down 14-0 early. Handoff. They fake it to McKinney. Kyler Smith in trouble. Shows the athleticism. Looks to get away from one tackle. And he's brought down the line of scrimmage. Kane Graham making it happen on defense now as he comes in to make the tackle on Kyler Smith to bring up a big 3rd down and 4 here. The Aggies have it at their own 36. And Martin Gatrell, the 2 tight ends for Beal City, very athletic. Definitely split either of them out wide. Could definitely see either one of those guys take an end around as well here at some point this season. Lined up in the backfield, it'll be Drew Block and Garrison Zucker. Wing back to the left of the quarterback Smith is McKenny. They're going to run it behind McKenny. Zucker has it. He's got to get away from one guy. He does that in his first down yardage for Beal City. Great run there from Garrison Zucker as he really showed some strength. It would have been a really tough tackle for Houghton Lake to keep him from getting that first down, but it was some extra effort out there from the Zucker man to get that first down. So it's now first down and 10, Beal City, their own 41. Kenny has the play. Beal City staying with the same formation here. First trip out. Aaron Locke's going to be lined up at wide receiver to the left of McKinney. Got Zucker lined up to the right. McKenny lined up as a wing back as well with Zucker. Drew Block lined up at fullback or the deep back. They're going to hand it off to Block. Spins around to tackle. He's going to be brought down. Kind of a dangerous spot there. He swung around that spin move, kind of put his back to the first down, is looking back at the line of scrimmage. But it turned into a great run for the Aggies. It's going to bring up second down and 5 for Beal City. A little rain here earlier, but it's just turned into an absolutely beautiful night here on the horizon in Beal City with the St. Joseph Church in the background, the windmills spinning, and some Aggie homecoming football. Block will remain the deep back. Wing backs remain McKenny and Garrison Zucker. Aaron Locke still lined up wide to the left for Kyler Smith. They send McKenny in motion. They're going to hand it off to Block again that way. Block's got first down yards. He carries a couple Bobcat would-be tacklers with them down to the 45-yard line. It's another first down for Beal City. And I do got to give a big, big shout-out to Owen McKenny, who's the homecoming king. Macy Johnston, the homecoming queen. Congratulations to both of them. Beal City first down, under 5 minutes remaining here in this first quarter. Aggies have it just inside Bobcat territory on their first possession. Freshman Braxton Bukovich now lined up at fullback. Zucker, McKenny remain the two wingbacks. Now split out wide is Gatrell from his tight end spot. Sends Zucker in motion. He's going to run it here to the near side. Gets away from one man. Makes another great move. He's inside the 40, down to the 35-yard line. Really close to first down yardage. Excellent run there from Garrison Zucker. Again, when you have a guy that has a big week, a couple touchdown catches, I asked Coach Gross, who were you most impressed with last week? He brought up the name Zucker. You want to get that young man the football early, and they're feeding him right now, and it is looking good. Also, big things coming up. September 29th, Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m., Isabella Community Sportsplex has their open house. Maury Gymnastics Center, Martin Ice Arena, and Maury Court. So go check that out Sunday, September 29th from 3 to 6. Big hole for McKenny. Spins through a tackle, and he's got first down yardage as the Aggies just roll down the field on the ground right now. They will move the chains again. So back-to-back first down runs giving Aggies first downs. So it's kind of funny to say that, but hey, when you're rolling, that's how it goes. First down and 10 for Beal City. The 25-yard line. 4:19 remaining in our first quarter. Still scoreless. Houghton Lake picked up a couple first downs on their first drive. And picked up another one on third down, but was ultimately called back via a penalty, and it turned into a 4th and 16 where they had to punt it away. Man in motion is McKenny. He gets the handoff on the jet sweep, looks to turn the corner, makes one man miss, spins out of another tackle, and he's going to be down inside the 5-yard line on the far side of the field. Big run for Owen McKenny for first down yardage once again for Beal City as they continue to roll on this drive. And it's not 3 yards in a cloud of dust. It is 10 yards in a puff of smoke because they are out there going fast right now. McKenny trots off, comes back in with the play. It's actually going to be stopped at the 11 or 12-yard line over there on the far side of the field. My bad on that one. Thought it was down to the 5. Just don't have the greatest vantage point here. Going under center is McKenny. Lined up behind him is Drew Block. Block gets the handoff. Carries a tackle with him for several yards. I believe he is now inside the 5, down to maybe the 1 or the 2-yard line. And I'm going to see if it's another first down run here for Beal City as they just absolutely roll down the field on the Bobcats here on their opening drive. It'll be second down and an inch. Tackle Jacob Beitler coming off right now, getting himself a break. Well-deserved with the way the Aggies have rolled down the field. Beitler, Wilson, McDonald, Leonard, Faber, also Hooks out there doing some great work for this Beal City offensive line on this drive as they just run it right down the field. 2nd and 1 from the 2. McKenny goes under center. Small goes under center. They hand it off to McKenny. He's got to make a sharp turn to get into the end zone, but he is able to do it. Touchdown, Beal City, 6-0. They lead it here in the first quarter after a beautiful drive. 2:48 left to go. And another touchdown for Standish Sterling. Already 20-0 or 21-0 there in the early going. Out there for the extra point is Kyle Martin. Holding it, Mr. Owen McKenny. 2:48 left to go here in our first quarter. It's not a good snap. The hold gets down and the kick is up and good. Great job by McKenny and Kyle Martin at making that one happen. The Aggies lead it 7-0 with 2:48 left to go in our first quarter. We're going to take a break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. When we come back, it's more Aggie homecoming football on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Central Michigan Sand and Gravel, just like our student athletes, they bring it. If you need sand or gravel, they bring it to you with fast service and a great price. For all of your sand and gravel needs, call Central Michigan Sand and Gravel today at 989-382-7089. Central Michigan Sand and Gravel, a proud supporter of our student athletes competing for their schools. All Seasons Fireworks is a big fan of all the athletes, coaches, officials, and volunteers who make high school sports happen. Make your next event bigger and brighter. Stop by All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant. Graduations, birthdays, weddings, or a big win become more memorable underneath a night sky lit up by the magic of fireworks. All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant.
Back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. 2:48 left to go in our first quarter. Beal City leads it 7-0. Houghton Lake had a drive, couldn't come up with anything. Beal City had a drive, were able to come up with a touchdown. Taking it in was Owen McKenny, the homecoming queen, scoring a TD here on homecoming. Doesn't get any better than that for that young man. Kyle Martin out to kick it off for Beal City. Back deep to receive, Mr. Graham. You probably want to kick it away from Mr. Graham if you can, and you are Beal City. Comes a kick from Martin. It will be a little bit of a dribbler, not allowing him to get the football. Actually diving on it near the 30 is the Houghton Lake Bobcat player. If he would have let it go, it would have gone out of bounds and gave him a little bit better field position. But then again, Beal City was hustling down there going after the football, so I should say a nice heads-up play from Scotchulis. And it might have been a penalty against Standish Sterling, so that last touchdown apparently does not stand. 14-0. Still, Shepherd trails Standish Sterling. Or pardon me, Ogama Heights, not Standish. So the gauntlet of the Jack Pine 1. What Shepherd's trying to go through right now. Thank our friends Barry Funeral Home, Sean Powers, the crew, Mid-Michigan Industries, Boomer's Lawn Care, Doozy's Ice Cream Place, Rick's Food Center, and Schaefer's Bait and Sporting Goods. Handed off to Graham, looking to find some room on the far side. He gets away from one tackle, spins out of another into the open field. First down yardage before Small pushes him out of bounds. You see the difficulty of taking down Kane Graham right there. I don't even want to say it was a bad tackle attempt from Beal City. The second guy actually kind of wrapped him up and spun him around, but it was a fantastic job from Graham to get out of that tackle. First down yardage, and Kane Graham has had the ball 4 times. He has now picked up 3 first downs. That is very, very efficient for that young man right there. And again, if you're Beal City, he's the one guy you really feel like you have to lock in and stop. But Coach Searsaw, the crew from Houghton Lake, do a good job of lining them up all over the place to make that difficult. 3 wide receivers to the right for quarterback Scotchulis. Graham lined up at running back in the backfield with him. And the snap's going to go over Scotchulis' head. He does a fantastic job of just diving on it to keep the football. But it is going to be a little slippery out there. We didn't have heavy rain come through late. Homecoming parade probably would have appreciated the rain staying away, but we've been pretty dry here. But I'm sure that field is pretty slippery out there here in Beal City. It'll be 2nd down and 17 for Houghton Lake. When they've gotten behind the sticks, they've gone to Kane Graham. He's made something happen. Scotchulis trots back in with the play from Coach Searsaw. Three wide for Scotchulis. Sent a man in motion. There's another jump. I don't know if this will be offsides or a false start. Very similar to the play we had earlier. Houghton Lake sent a man in motion, and it looked like it got Beal City to jump with the fake snap. And it will work. Credit Houghton Lake. And I'm going to give some love right now to Ryan Searsaw. When I was talking with Coach Gross a couple weeks ago, we talked about, how they do that fake fourth down attempt that kind of got Ravenna in week number 1. Now, as I said, the rain, keeping it dry here. The rain does start to come down just a little bit here at Beal City. 4 wide to the right for Scotchless. 1 lined up to the left. Rolling that way is Scotchless. He wants to throw it. It's going to be incomplete. A dangerous throw out there for Kane Graham. That's one of those, if you're the quarterback for Houghton Lake, you probably need to look at running that one when you're already outside of the pocket, but you want to get it to Kane Graham, but the wide receiver screen was red. I believe that was Garrison Zucker with another nice defensive play for Beal City. 3rd down and 12 now for the Bobcats. 1:33 left to go in our first quarter. Scotchless trotting back in with the play. Out there defensively. The line, got the big man Beitler also out there. Reese Hooks. Nick Irvin. Shotgun look, rolling to the right is Scotchless. Rolling to his right. Aaron Locke closes in and brings him down in the backfield. Big sack on 3rd down for Aaron Locke. It's going to make it 4th down and a mile. And as the later the game went down against Ravenna, the more and more plays we saw 22 make defensively, whether he was lined up at linebacker or defensive end. He gets in the Beal backfield that time, and there was nowhere for Scotchless to go with the football. Houghton Lake wanted to have him roll out to his right 3 or 4 steps to kind of open things up. But once he took those 3 or 4 steps to the outside, 22, the sophomore Aaron Locke was bearing down on him, and there was nowhere he could go. An excellent play from Aaron Locke in his linebacker position. Back to punt this one away once again is Logan Bourne for Houghton Lake. Back deep to receive it again is Austin Small. Under a minute remaining here in the first quarter. High snap, and Bourne goes right off the side of his foot. It's actually going to bounce out of bounds in the Beal City crowd, in the Beal City bench, not actually the crowd. And so I think they're going to have it 1st down and 10 at the Bobcat 45. And if you're Houghton Lake, that is absolutely not what you wanted right there. Kind of just really put Beal City in a great spot offensively so they can have a chance to make things happen. 30 seconds left to go here in the first. This could be the final play of the first quarter. Kyler Smith lined up in the gun. I almost said McKenny because McKenny was wearing 13 last year. They sent McKenny in motion, who's now wearing number 1. Smith looking for the shovel pass. He jumps and throws it to Austin Small. He dances by a defender. Gets a block from Aaron Locke. Now he's inside the 20, down to the 15. Woo! Big block from Aaron Locke downfield. Made the big play on defense moments ago. Now makes a big play on offense, clearing things up for his teammate. And Beal City is in business once again. But I didn't see it till just now. There's a flag on the field. And so I think this one is going to be coming back. And they're going to wave the Bobcats back. I believe they called too many men on the field there, possibly as well, for Beal City. And so Beal City's going to back up. I didn't see where that hold occurred, but it was kind of a tricky play where Cade Smith was kind of rolling. I think he was looking for a shovel pass, but it wasn't there, so he kind of had to jump past it instead. He completed it. Ended up big yardage, but all for naught, as it'll now be 1st and 15. Shotgun look for the Aggies. Going under center is Smith. Takes a snap, hands it off to Drew Block. He's got some room up the middle. It's going to be close to first down yardage. Actually breaks away from a couple tackles and a big stiff arm. And there's Locke again, making a block downfield. Touchdown! Drew Block with a big block from Aaron Locke. That's a little bit of a tongue twister, but touchdown Aggies is the point, 13-0. They now lead it as the senior Block is on the board after the senior McKenny gets on the board. But that run had a little bit more flair than McKenny's short touchdown run. Beal City in control right now with a 13-0 lead. 10 seconds remaining in our first quarter. Aaron Locke for the second consecutive play, making a big-time block 15, 20 yards downfield to help spring the running back to the end zone. One was called back via penalty. It wasn't on him, but then he's back down there again. A big-time run from Drew Block. He should have been brought down in the middle of the field after a gain of maybe 8 or 10, but he got away from a couple Bobcat would-be tacklers, danced to the sideline, and took it to the house on the block from Locke. It's Block with the TD. We'll be back with more Aggie football right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Weber Brothers Sawmill has been in the sawmill and logging business since 1950. Weber Brothers Sawmill buys standing timber and logs all over central and northern Michigan with National Hardwood Lumber Association certification. You can be assured of a professional job, from the marking and cruising of your woods through the harvest. Weber Brothers Sawmill is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes.
Bill's Custom Fab can handle any job you need, from large-scale steel building projects to fixing your favorite stainless serving pan. Bill's Custom Fab can weld and fabricate anything. Call today at 989-772-5817 or stop by on Gover Parkway in Mount Pleasant. Good luck to all of our local athletes from Bill's Custom Fab.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Big shout out to my main man, Sean Powers, the guy you hear sending me back all the time. Just got himself a new gig at Mid-Michigan Industries. Proud to have them on my sponsor list, and it's proud to talk about all the great things they do, leading the way to inclusive communities here in the Mid-Michigan area. Also shout out to Gross Farms, Brad Gross Electric, friends at Bogwai, Banga, and Bradley, WW Construction, GNS Mechanical, Bryce Updegraff, Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. Here comes the kick from Martin. It's going to be fielded at the 5-yard line. Looking for a little trickery here as they fake the reverse on the return. A nice job by Beal City reading it, but I don't mind that attempt at all right there from Houghton Lake. You fake it to Kane Graham, who you want all the eyes on him if you are Coach Gross. So not a bad fake there, using him as a decoy, but Beal City was ready for it, maybe saw that on the film. Another big shout to one of our great sponsors, Mount Pleasant Public Schools. They are hiring bus drivers. They need subs. Go to Mount Pleasant Schools with an S.net, MT Pleasant Schools with an S.net to get yourself started. One of the biggest employers in Isabella County. They are hiring. You could have a job there. I was talking with Brandy Grakowskis earlier this week, who works in the athletic department. She talked about just how great of a place it is to work. Nowhere for Kane Graham to go on the play. In the backfield is Mr. Owen McKenny to bring him down, and that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. A first quarter dominated by Beal City. Houghton Lake did a decent job of moving the football early in the quarter on their first initial drive, picking up a couple first downs. But since then, it's been a bit of tough sledding, and when Beal City's had the ball, they have taken it right down the field into the end zone. Time for another quick break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. When we come back, the second quarter, it's Houghton Lake football. Second down and 14 from their own 17 right after this.
GNS Mechanical in Wademan offers service and installation on everything for your home and business. From a simple filter replacement to furnace, central air service, and install, geothermal, and walk-in coolers and freezers. If you have a need, GNS Mechanical has a solution. Learn more at gnsmechanical.com or call 989-644-2106.
Mumford Oil and Gas Supply is your one-stop shop for top quality products and procurement in the Michigan oil and gas industry. With over 45 years of experience and a strong commitment to customer satisfaction, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply delivers the best solutions for your oil and gas production, drilling, and service needs. If you need it, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply can get it. Visit them on Fancher today or give them a call at 989-317-8582.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome Welcome back to high school football on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Isabella Community Sportsplex Open House coming up Sunday, September 29th from 3 to 6 p.m. Maury Gymnastics Center, Martin Ice Arena, Maury Courts will be open for everybody to come check out. There's going to be the CMU's hockey team is going to be there. I know the CMU Club Gymnastics team is going to be there. Real basketball is going to be there. Whole lot of fun going on at the Open House Sunday, September 29th from 3 to 6 p.m., so mark it on your calendar right now. Second down and 14 for the Bobcats. They got 4 wide. They fake it one way. They throw their screen over to Bailey and tackled right away by Drew Block in the backfield. It's going to bring up third down and long. Nice play from Drew Block, and you start to think about that Zaid Batchelder baller of the game. Drew Block has got some really nice plays out there as well. Garrison Zucker has been solid, but Locke also with a couple blocks as well. And that lock and block is tough to say, and it happened a few years ago. It would have been Ethan Locke and Cade Block. We'll continue to try and make sure we get that in the right order. Third down and long now for the Bobcats. The officials doing a great job out there, kind of covering up the football. A little mist coming down here in Beal City, making sure everything stays dry. Big third down here for the Bobcats. You're in a situation where you're going to have to punt the football because you are backed up. The last punt didn't go so well. You don't want to give Beal another short field. 4 wide. Scotchless drops back. He has some time, slings it out there. It's tipped in the air and intercepted by Drake Gatrill. His dad is Cam Gatrill. He would have came up with the pick back in his day as well. A great high school football player, played some college football. But Gatrill comes up with the pick, but it was Locke who went up and blocked it. The block and Locke's going to continue to goof me up here for a little bit until I get that down. But it's another short field for Beal City. So they have it 1st and 10 at the 10 of Houghton Lake. So it's 1st and goal off of the interception. You don't see that very often. 11 minutes remaining here in our second quarter. The Aggies with a chance to really take control in this one. They already lead it 14-0. Have it 1st and goal at the 10. They send Small in motion. They hand it off. Touchdown, Drew Block. His second of the first half. And the Aggies are rolling here on homecoming night. They lead it 20-0 with an extra point on the way. And holy moly, not to be outdone, Sacred Heart Academy is up 27-0. Under 1 minute remaining into the first quarter. Things not as good in Shepherd. Holy moly. Ogama Heights is up 35-0 in Shepherd already. It's a very young team in Shepherd, and myself and Adam Gursky have been talking about it's going to be a showdown possibly for the Jack Pine 1 championship next week. Claire's in Gladwin. If Claire is able to beat Gladwin, them and Ogama Heights would come into that game undefeated next week, and whoo boy, would that be a big one. But we were hoping to be down Sacred Heart Academy at Vestaburg, but when I went down there and did my internet connection, it worked out all right, but we got to make sure we got a spot to set up down there. And so we'll talk more about that as that game goes on and next week. But the Aggies are now up 21-0. We're going to take another quick break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. When we come back, Aggie homecoming football. It's all Aggies right now. 2 touchdowns from Drew Block. We've got them up 2 touchdowns from Drew Block and a touchdown from Owen McKenny. Have them up 21-0. More coming up, Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway. When your team or business needs to look good, don't get left hanging. Call or stop by Hanging by a Thread in Wademan, the official embroiders for the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Hanging by a Thread, a proud supporter of local schools.
Back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Kyle Martin ready to kick things away. And so, crazy scores happening. Sacred Heart already up big. Shepherd already down big. And here, Beal City up big. It is already 21-0. Here comes the kickoff. It's going to be fielded at the 15-yard line by Bailey. He's going to run it to the far side. It's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line. Not bad returning room there for Houghton Lake. Finnerty on the tackle. So it'll be first down and 10 for Houghton Lake. And you got to start feeling like, man, you got to make something happen here. First and 10 Bobcats at their 36-yard line. So your Fritz Jessing's smooth voice over the PA system here in Beal City. Shotgun look, 2 running backs in the backfield with Scotchulis. They hand it off to the deep back and nowhere to go for Kane Graham. There in the backfield immediately is Beitler, and once again, Locke in the backfield. And another turnover down in Byron. Sacred Heart Academy and Ogama Heights. Ogama Heights versus Shepherd, Sacred Heart Academy versus Byron are going to have running clocks possibly very early in that game, or might always wait till the second half. But things going in a good way for Sacred Heart, in a bad way for Shepherd, and in a good way here for Beal City. As the Bobcats went backwards again on first down. Second down and 12 at their own 34. 3 running backs in the backfield with the 2 running backs in the backfield. Scotchulis back there. They're actually going to motion a man out. They're going to pitch it to him, trying to find some room for Kane Graham, but he's brought down again. The Aggies continue to make great plays. That one was the freshman, Braxton Bukovich, making the tackle in the backfield. So if you were Houghton Lake, still 9:40 left to go in our second quarter, and you go back to think about that first drive they had that was 5 or 6 minutes. Since that drive, it has just been all downhill, or all uphill for Houghton Lake and all downhill for Beal City. 3rd and 13 for the Bobcats. Again, if you're Houghton Lake, you're 4-0 all time against Beal. You're used to losing big. Got to have something good momentum-wise happen here on this drive. Scotchulis looking to change the play now at the sideline. Send a man in motion. Fake the snap. Now look at the sideline change again. I think we're going to have a timeout coming here from Searsaw. They're waiting on the delay of game, and we do have a timeout coming from the Bobcats. Right now it is all Beal City. 9:08 left to go in our second quarter. 3rd down and 12 for Houghton Lake. Keep the broadcast right here for the moment. Again, the score updates coming in. It is looking really, really good for Sacred Heart Academy as they lead big over Byron. They'll have a running clock in the second half. Same goes in Shepherd, but not a good story for the Blue Jays as there'll be a running clock. Ogama Heights up big early in that one. Both of those games are going to be 35-0 or so after the first quarter, and continue to look for some updates coming from the Clare Pioneers and also our Mount Pleasant Oilers as well. Hall of Fame night in Mount Pleasant. I know the main man, Brenton Scobie, Joe Marciano, and the crew bringing you that game. The Mount Pleasant Oilers YouTube page as well. Big shout out to my buddy Adam Gursky helping me here on the film work, making it possible for me to pay a little bit more attention to this game. And found out, different when you got that iPhone the last few years. I just want to make sure you see the play, but great work he's doing, making sure we zoom in, get some great shots of some of the action. Big shout out to him. Also, our friends at Barberry Law, coming to you from the Barberry Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. Let's see here, we're 9:08 game time away from our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report. Bill's Custom Fab fabrication of the game. Drew Block has kind of had a trio of plays that I would put up there for that nomination right now. His 2 touchdown runs, and then his tipped pass that led to the interception for Drake Gatrill that gave him a short field on their last TD. Kind of my 3 plays of the game right now, if I think about it, or my 3 fabrications of the game, brought to you by Bill's Custom Fan. They sent Kane Graham in motion, looking to run a reverse, but it's right all the way by Beal City. There was nowhere to go on 3rd down and long. Ball carrier is brought down near the line of scrimmage. Great job by Drake Gatrill and others on that play. It's now 4th down and long. If you're the Bobcats, you're going to have to punt this one away. So Searsaw trying to go with the trickery right there, but there was just so many guys in the backfield. The Bobcats might have wanted to maybe drop it back for some type of reverse pass there, but there just wasn't anything happening because of the attack on the defense from Beal City. Back deep to receive it is Austin Small. Small only about 25 yards or so away from his line of scrimmage. Logan Bourne hasn't got a whole lot of leg into his first 2 punts for the Bobcats. Low snap. Decent punt this time. Small's going to have to catch it on the bounce if he wants to return it. Takes it on the short hop. Gets a block from Drew Block on the sideline. Turns it back infield near the 50-yard line. Gets away from another guy. Now he's brought down, but inside Bobcat territory. A great 20-yard, 25-yard return there from Austin Small to set Beal City up with great field position. And I talked about the big leads already for Sacred Heart Academy on the road in Byron, and for Shepherd taking on Ogama Heights. It's turning into a big lead here in the first half for Beal City. They already lead at 21-0. Now have great field position at the Bobcat 35 after the great return from Austin Small. Drew Block's already got 2 touchdowns. Owen McKenny already has a touchdown. Shotgun look for McKenny. He's dropping back, looking to throw. He's got some time. Now he's flushed up inside of the pocket. He's going to be brought down in the backfield. I don't mind the decision there by Owen McKenny to kind of eat that one. Your offense has been very successful. There's no point in trying to take a crazy shot downfield right now, leading at 21-0 in your own territory with that clock moving in the second quarter. I mentioned McKenny already with a TD. Homecoming king. It's got to feel pretty good. Homecoming queen, Miss Macy Johnston. Congratulations to her. And I believe 3 all-sports stars there, winning the homecoming king and queen for Beal City. Drew Block's going to be the deep back, 2 wing backs. Austin Small and Owen McKenny. Lined up at wide receiver is Gatro. They hand it off the Block. He's had some big runs here in the first half. He's got to take the outside edge. Tries to turn the corner. Took a wide angle to get there. He'll be brought down back at the original line of scrimmage. A good effort there from Drew Block to turn that into maybe a 2-3 yard loss into maybe a yard or 2. Shout out to our friends at J&J Auto Collision. We haven't had any of those big collisions out there brought to you by J&J Auto, but appreciate everything they do supporting local high school sports. And if you want to know how much they care, a lot of times when you come to these Beal City games, even though Angela Latham might have a kid out there playing, a lot of times find her in the concession stand helping everybody out. 3rd down here for Beal City. 4-down territory with the big lead. Shotgun look. Lined up right in front of Kyler Smith is going to be Drew Block. Looking to throw it downfield. This Smith, he launches this one. Zucker snags it in the air. He talked about it last week. You got Moss catch from Garrison Zucker. He went up and mossed the defensive back right there to bring that one down on 3rd down and long. A big play from Mr. Garrison Zucker. Zucker's had a couple really nice plays on defense and then coming up with that huge 3rd down catch there. 6:19 left to go in our second quarter. It's going to be 1st down and goal for Beal City from the 6-yard line with 6:19 left to go. Deep back is going to be Drew Block. Going under center. It's Kyler Smith. They hand it off to him. He looks to turn it inside. Looks to pull a guy forward. Touchdown, Drew Block. His 3rd of the first half. As Jersey was getting tugged on right there, and he just kind of pulled it last yard or 2 to get into the end zone. It's all Aggies right now. They lead at 27-0. The extra point coming up for Kyle Martin. Well, high five out there between the seniors, Drew Block and Owen McKenny. 6:14 left to go in our second quarter. It might have been scoreless with 6:14 left in the first quarter because of a long first drive. This wasn't necessarily even a long first drive from Houghton Lake. Snap to McKenny. It's decent. The hold is good. The kick is up and good. It is 28-0 Beal City. We're going to take another break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. But the Aggies are rolling on homecoming night. 3 touchdowns for the senior Drew Block and a touchdown for the homecoming king, Mr. Owen McKenny. Back with more Aggie football right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, open every day but Sunday for lunch and dinner. Delicious pizza, the world-famous Bird Burger, handcrafted, fresh-baked subs, many apps, and much more. There's something for everyone at The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, where friends gather like family. The Bird, supporting high school sports in mid-Michigan for nearly 100 years. Handsome Ben's Fab provides professional fabrication work for your home or business. MIG, TIG, and ARC AWS certified, Handsome Ben can fabricate your dreams with steel, aluminum, and stainless steel. Handsome Ben brings 20 years of professional fabrication experience to you. Call Handsome Ben today at 989-802-2405.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome
Welcome back here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. 28-0 is our score. 6:14 left to go in our second quarter. It is all Beal City here in this one. So many more thanks to give to our great sponsors, Block Electric, the Diner, Karen and the crew out there always doing a great job. And I had their cinnamon roll last Saturday or 2 Saturdays ago. I had a texter saying that was the best cinnamon roll I've had since Jenny's Diner back in the day. And if you know Jenny's Diner cinnamon rolls, you know how fantastic those are. So if you're looking for breakfast tomorrow morning, I recommend the cinnamon roll from the Diner. 28-0 our score. Beal City leads Houghton Lake. Houghton Lake again had a good initial drive. Picked up a couple first downs from Kane Graham, but since then the Aggies have keyed on him and have been all over it. It is now 41-0. Ogama Heights on top of Shepherd. 34-0. Sacred Heart Academy on top of Byron. 28-0. Beal City on top of Houghton Lake. Still don't have any updates from Claire. Checked out their Facebook page. They do a good job of kind of posting all their touchdowns. Still haven't seen anything there, so things might be tight with Gladwin and Claire. Mentioned Ogama Heights. Claire could be a big game next week. Ogama Heights beat Gladwin, I believe it was last week, 12-7. Very closely contested contest there. Kyle Marin out for the kick for Beal City. 6:14 left to go in our second quarter. Dribbler again on this one. It'll be fielded by Bailey at his 24-yard line, but as soon as he picks it up, Garrison Zucker is there to push him out of bounds. And you might not think it, but that is a really good kicking attack there from Beal City. It's moving too fast for any of the up men to try and jump in front of it and pick it up, because if it bounces off of them, it's going to be a really dangerous live ball. And by the time one of the return men have a chance to grab it, defense is already bearing down on them. Out there defensively for Beal City. On that line to start things off this time, it's going to be Hooks. It is going to be Mr. Faber, along with Mr. Irvin and Aaron Locke down there on the defensive line. Shotgun look. Scotchulis rolling to his right. He's got a bit of time to throw. Throws, he connects with Graham, but he's hit right away by Garrison Zucker. There's that J&J Auto Collision report right there. But if you are Graham, you're going to take it because it's nice yardage on first down for the first time in several drives for Houghton Lake. Bring up 2nd down and 1. Last couple times the Bobcats have had it, it's been 2nd down and 12, 2nd down and 14, 2nd down and 15. 2nd down and 1 feels a whole lot better. That's the one thing Coach Searsaw talked about, was getting Beal City off the field on those 3rd downs and staying on the field when they have 3rd downs. They have not been able to do that here in the first half. One of the several reasons why the Aggies lead it 28-0 here on homecoming. Shotgun look for the quarterback. Scotchless is going to hand it off to the running back in the backfield. It's going to be first down yardage on the run, and I really like what Coach Searsaw did there. He says, we're not going to try and do anything fancy on this 2nd down. You know, some people like to take a shot on 2nd and 2, 2nd and 1, 2nd and 3. He says, no, it's been a while since we picked up a first down. Let's move those chains. First down and 10 now for the Bobcats. 5:10 remaining in the second quarter. The Aggies all over the Bobcats. 28-0 is our score. Shotgun look again for the Bobcats. Look to the sideline for the play. They're going to hand it off and nowhere for the tailback to go. Again, several Aggies right there at the point of attack, including Neil Finnerty, Eric Elias, and a couple other blue jerseys in there. Bukovich as well. Running out of the game real quick, it's Nick Irvin. He was also in on that tackle. Sprinting back in to replace him is going to be the junior Reese Hooks. 4:30 left to go in the second quarter. If you're Houghton Lake, you want to get into the end zone here. Yes, part of me wants to say you want to get into the end zone and not leave Beal City any time, but you're so far down, 28-0, you just need to get into the end zone, period. It doesn't matter when it is. Scotchulis has the play. They're going to line up tight this time. Kind of a wishbone formation, but imagine the quarterback in the shotgun next to one of the tailbacks and 2 fullbacks up ahead of him. A tackle in the backfield. Getting back there to bring down the ball carrier is Mr. Owen McKenny. The senior continues to have a great first half. It's going to bring up 3rd down and a mile again. And there it is on that last series of downs. They had it to 2nd and 1, and they were able to pick it up. You end up at 2nd and 11 again. You got to change the play call. Now it's 3rd down and long. If you're Beal City, you start to think about, you get a stop here, you get into the end zone, you start the second half with a running clock. It's crazy, but we could have that in 3 situations here tonight. This game here, Sacred Academy up big, and as I mentioned, Ogama Heights up 41-0 on Shepherd. 3 wide receivers to the left. Scotchless awaits the snap. There's going to be a timeout on the field coming from Houghton Lake, and not a bad timeout there. We'll continue to keep the broadcast right here. Shout some more of our great sponsors like Mount Pleasant Public Schools. They are hiring where they need parapros, they need substitute teachers. If you go to WillSub, get signed up there. You can make your own schedule if you want to be a substitute teacher, and it's not bad money either. They're also hiring bus drivers. They have paid training for their bus drivers. So you get started, you get paid right away. Mount Pleasant Public Schools, if you want to drive a bus, get started at mtpleasantschools with an S.net. Also, big shout out to our friends at Hangin' by a Thread, the official embroiderer of the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, as well as our friends at Isabella Bank. And you want to know how much Isabella Bank cares about local high school sports? Well, go look at your scoreboard. Here at Frank A. Schaefer Field, the scoreboard is brought to you by our friends at Isabella Bank. And you want to do something big that is supporting our local schools. Well, helping that school put in a scoreboard is about, I feel like, is as big as you could go, as big as of a contribution as you could make. I mean, what's Isabella Bank going to do? Put a new field out here? But when people ask for scoreboards, I remember talking with Pam Stevens. She said, yeah, that is something we like to do. Always such a big deal. And, hey, not a bad advertisement to have on the field to show that you care about our local high school athletes. So a big shout out to them and everything they do in supporting us here at the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Here comes that 3rd down and long for the Bobcats. Same type of formation, trips receivers to the left, 1 to the right. They're going to fake the bubble screen. Now they do throw it. It's going to be incomplete. It was thrown low. Bailey didn't make a great attempt to kind of go get that one. There was, Bukovich somewhat bearing down on him, but if he's able to make that catch and get by Bukovich, he might have some running room. He might have to make a shoelace catch there, but it just didn't really seem like he made a big effort to go after one in that scenario, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 13. Back deep to receive the punt. So Austin Small had a great return earlier in this quarter, set up the Aggies with great field position. Again, our score here is 28-0, 3:03 left to go in our second quarter. And in these scenarios, a lot of times Beal City gets the ball back. They will not be afraid to throw the football. Decent snap, Logan Bourne looking out. He's going to punt it off to Small. Small's going to let this one go. A good decision. That was a fantastic punt that time by Bourne. Very high. Got to the sideline, bounced out of bounds before Small had a chance to return it. More score updates coming in. 47-0, Ogama Heights on top of Shepherd. Still in the first half. It's just been all Ogama there. Sacred Academy up 34-0 in their game at Byron. In here, it's all Aggies. They lead at 28-0. 2:52 left to go in our first half. In homecoming, have the festivities coming up. We'll have this week in MHSA Sports with our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report. Big shout out, Jenna, Kyle, Bob, Miss Gates, the whole crew. Just being big supporters of what we do here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Kyler Smith takes his handoff, runs it immediately from his quarterback spot. He's going to pick up maybe 6 or 7 yards there. It'll be a decent gain for the Aggies on first down. So bring up 2nd down, and we'll call it 4. 2:30 left to go. The Aggies still have 3 timeouts remaining. They choose to use them here. Shotgun look again for Smith. Empty backfield. He does have some wingbacks. He's looking to throw. He's got to get away from one man. He does that. Keeps his eyes downfield. Slings it for Austin Small. Throw's going to be caught for a first down. I don't know how Kyler Smith got it there around the run. He's got a whole lot better arm than I do. A little bit like his brother, Caden Smith, who's going to be playing some baseball for Central Michigan University this next spring and pitched in back-to-back state championship victories for the Aggies. Also a great football player, basketball player, just like his younger bro is going to be. 2 minutes left to go, second quarter. Shotgun look for Kyler Smith. Ball's going to be on the ground, so he can't get the handoff to McKenny. McKenny with a huge pancake block. and he actually gets some dap from the guy he leveled. That's how you know you make a big block, when the guy gets up and pats you on the shoulder. Oh, man, McKenny laying lumber out there. It's going to be a 5-yard gain for Beal City. Waiting to see if we get a timeout from them or not, or they're going to say he went out of bounds and stop the clock there. So 2nd down and 5. There's still 3 timeouts remaining for Beal City here in this first half. Unless they score quickly, I imagine we'll see them use 1 or 2. Drake Gatrell, Kyle Martin lined up wide for Beal City. The 2 wingbacks are Austin Small and Owen McKenny. Lined up deep is Drew Block. It's going to be a run for McKenny on the jet sweep, and he fell and put his knee on the ground. So that's going to bring up 3rd down, and we will have that timeout for Beal City. We'll also take this timeout as well. 3rd down coming up for Beal. They are in control, up 28-0. Looking to put another touchdown on the board before we reach halftime here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Block Electric Company is a proud supporter of local schools and high school student athletes, learning skills in and out of the classroom to lead our communities tomorrow. Good luck to all student athletes from Block Electric, and go Aggies!
The Diner, where homemade favorites come to life every day for breakfast and lunch. From fluffy pancakes to savory sandwiches, The Diner has your cravings covered. Discover the perfect blend of comfort food and camaraderie at The Diner. Join them every Friday night till 7 for their famous fish fry. The Diner on North Mission, Mount Pleasant.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back inside the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. There is 1:58 left to go in our first half. The Aggies face a 3rd down and 7 situation when they come back from this timeout. Got your Gates Drilling and Service halftime report coming up. Talk about the Zaid Batchelder Baller of the Game nominees. And right now, Drew Block, 3 touchdowns here in this first half. He's looking pretty darn fantastic. Also made a couple big defensive plays as well. In particular, Drake Gatrell's interception. He kind of went up and tipped the pass, allowed Gatrell to come down with it. Gave the Aggies fantastic field position to go in for, well, another score. Again, it's been all Beal City here in the early going, and we haven't even reached our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report. The score 28-0. Beal with the ball, 3rd down and 7 at their own 40-yard line. Handed off up the middle. It's Block on the carry once again. He's going to be brought down before he picks up the 1st down, but I think that might have been a plan from Beal City to come out and go for this one here on 4th down. McKenny's lining up in the shotgun. We'll see if they maybe can get the Bobcats to jump here as well. They're looking at their wristbands for the play. They send a man in motion. They do snap it. It goes to McKenny. McKenny turns the corner, runs through a tackler. He's got 1st down yardage into the open field. Pushed out of bounds at the 30 by Bailey. But what a 4th down call from Coach Gross. Again, we talked about in our interviews that they run that 4th down play with the motion to try and get the defense to jump. But you never know. They could snap it and run the 4th down play. They did it that time. They pick up the conversion. McKenny with a big run down the sideline, and he had to run through 1, maybe 2 tackles to get to the 1st down there. That wasn't easy for the senior McKenny. He made it happen there. Not that there was not good blocking, but a big-time run there from the senior Owen McKenny. 28-0 the score, 1:27 left in the first half. The Aggies love to punch it in here before halftime. Smith, pump fakes. Looks to throw it over the middle. There's a couple defenders out there. McKenny snags it at the 2. Woo! Owen McKenny goes up and gets it for his quarterback, and it'll be 1st and goal. Beal City, 1:20 left in our first quarter. The clock will run when they set the chains. That's the 2nd time that Kyler Smith has thrown a ball with a whole lot of confidence for his wide receiver to go get it, and both times the wide receivers have made the quarterback look like a genius for doing so. Smith trotting back in with the play, taking his time now as the Aggies still have 2 timeouts and work all the clock they want to. Zucker lined up at wide receiver to the far side. Eric Elias lined up at fullback in the backfield. The deep back is going to be Drew Block, and Block punches it in again. His 4th touchdown of the first half. Drew Block, large and in charge with 4 TDs here in the first half, and Beal City goes up 34-0 over Houghton Lake. Again, both of these teams came in at 2-1. Beal City with a really tough loss last week. Houghton Lake with a really big win last week. What a response from this very, very young Aggie varsity football team. Martin out there for the extra point. McKinney on the hold. Still 50 seconds left to go here in the first half. We're going to have a flag coming down. The kick would have been good, but we will do it again. We're coming to you from the Barbary Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. Our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report is right around the corner. We'll talk about the Bills Custom Fab fabrication of the game, our nominees for the Zaid Batchelder Baller of the Game, and we'll award those in our Bird All-America Grill postgame show. Also, a big thank you to our friends at the Diner, Block Electric, Central Michigan Sand and Gravel, Joe Wentworth and Bryce Updegraff, Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. Also, friends at Hanging by a Thread, the official embroider, the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. We've got another flag coming out. Say the officials, sometimes you think, well, well, if you got to throw a flag, you got to throw a flag. You can't just not throw the flag, no matter what's going on here. 34-0 our score. 4 first half touchdowns for Mr. Drew Block. Snap is decent, the hold is good, and the kick is good. 35-0. Beal City. We'll be back with the final 50 seconds of this first half before we head on to our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report. We're going to take another quick break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Mount Pleasant Heating and Air Conditioning has been family-owned and serving Mid-Michigan since 1962. They're dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business. Mount Pleasant Heating and Air Conditioning is locally owned and supports our local community. For all of your heating and air conditioning needs, call Mount Pleasant Heating and Air Conditioning at 989-772-2881. Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway, Mount Pleasant. Bryce Updegraff with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates thanks the coaches and officials who put in the time to help student athletes achieve their dreams and goals. For all of your real estate needs, the Bryce is right with Bryce Updegraff. With Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-620-6595.
Back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back inside our Barbary Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. It is all Aggies, 35-0 our score. There is 50 seconds left to go in the first half. If you're the Bobcats, you desperately want to get some points here in the final 50 seconds, because if you have any chance of coming back in this game, you can't have a running clock, down 5 touchdowns. But that is the way things roll. Kyle Marin out to kick this one off. 5 for 5. The extra points here today. He's going to boot this one. It's actually going to go out of bounds at the 25-yard line, so it'll be first down and 10 for the Bobcats at their own 35-yard line. It's been tough sledding for the Bobcats here in this one. First drive, they picked up a couple first downs. Since then, not a whole lot. I mentioned in the pregame, if you stop Kane Graham, you should be able to stop Houghton Lake. Beal City's been very keyed on that, and it's worked out so far. We haven't seen Kane Graham line up at quarterback yet. I know that's something we could see. Probably not with a score like this now, but know he's got the capability to line up all over the field for these Bobcats. Scotchalis has got one wide receiver to his right, 3 to his left. Send a man in motion that way. It's going to be a run all the way for Scotchalis up the middle. Gets away from one tackle before he's upended by Braxton Bukovich. Nice tackle out there from the freshman, Bukovich. Broke all kinds of middle school track records for Beal City. Was on a 4x100 team that broke a record, broke the 70, broke the 100, broke the long jump. Also a fantastic baseball player as well. Also great on the basketball court as well. All-sports star Braxton Bukovich got a bright future for Beal City. Kane Graham gets the handoff on the jet sweep, looking to find some room to the far side, and he's got first down yardage. If you can get Kane Graham the ball moving in space, he's been able to make it happen. If it's just him and one Aggie defender, he's been able to make some guys miss from time to time, but he hasn't been able to get by 3-4 guys when it's been there. And it's been there quite a bit for Beal City. Shotgun look for Scotchalis. He's dropping back. He's dropping back. He's going long. Knocked away by Drew Block. Kyle Martin coming in to clean up the hit as well. It was a hard hit taken by Bailey out there from his wide receiver position, but it was a clean play because once Block got his hands on it, Martin can kind of lay out that wide receiver to make sure he can't come down with the football. Smart play from two senior defensive backs there for Beal City. And that's what they got in that defensive backfield. Small, Martin, McKenny, Drew Block, all seniors. Then you got Zucker back there as well, the junior, who's got a whole lot of experience as well. 5 seconds left to go. This will be the final play of the first half, unless it happens real quickly. Shotgun look for the quarterback. Scotchless is going to send a man in motion. And jumping off sides will be the Aggies. A little quick movement out there from Mr. Nick Irvin as he takes a quick jump. So that'll move the chains ahead 5 yards for Houghton Lake, but still probably be the last play of this first half. Again, score updates coming in 49-0. Sacred Heart Academy on top of Byron. Telling him 35-0 here at the half. And we do have the final timeout called by Houghton Lake. Yet if you're Coach Searsaw, I always joke, put the coach's cap on if somebody's here calling the game with me. I'm going to put my coach's cap on. If you're Coach Searsaw, say, hey, guys, we got a chance to score here. If we score here, it's not going to be a running clock in the second half. If we don't score here, Beal City's going to get the football to start the second half. If they do what they've been doing, they could run off 5-6 minutes if they want to with that first drive, and it could be 42-0 halfway through the third quarter before you have the football again. I like the timeout, though, from Coach Searsaw. So if you can make something happen here, it could be a big, big deal. In Gates Drilling and Service halftime report coming right up. Big leads for Sacred Heart. Shepherd trails big. See if we can get any updates from Mount Pleasant and Clare at halftime as well. Shotgun look. They're going to hand this one off actually to Grant. He's looking to find some room here to the near side. Makes 3 guys miss. He'll have a touchdown, but he's not going to be able to do so. Kyle Martin drags him down, and that will bring us to the end of the first half. Homecoming. The Aggies lead it big, 35-0, the type of homecoming night where you don't got to worry all that much about your homecoming king not getting into the locker room a whole lot. Owen McKenny's going to be able to do a little bit of celebrating here as the homecoming king along with some of the others on the homecoming court. It is time for our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report. We come back, we'll have a quick recap, and then we'll send it off to This Week in MHSA Sports with John Ross and get you some score updates and talk about what the Aggies got to do to win this game in the second half. And we've kind of already talked about our front runners for the Zaid Batchelder baller of the game. 4 TDs for Drew Block. That's pretty solid. Time for the Gates Drilling and Service halftime report here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
The Gates Drilling and Service halftime show is coming up right after this.
Jenna Gates.
And Kyle Gates here. We are the 5th generation with Gates Drilling and Service.
We've been serving our friends and neighbors in Michigan since 1893.
We have the latest and greatest well drilling technology, allowing us to put in wells where others can't.
Lake lots and tight spaces are no problem.
From our family to yours, thank you, and call at 989-772-7841 for all your well drilling and service needs.
Gates Drilling and Service, where Gates goes, water flows.
J&J Auto in Wademan is Mid-Michigan's elite automotive repair shop. J&J Auto offers complete collision repair and mechanical repair. Stop by on Wademan Road or call them today at 989-644-8908. J&J Auto, proud supporters of high school student athletes.
Welcome on into our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report. Chris Bachman alongside Adam Gursky, the Batchelders hanging out. Zaid Batchelder, baller of the game. We talked about it right now. Mr. Drew Block, kind of the front-running position. He has 4 touchdowns. Also had a nice tipped pass that led to an interception for the Aggies. Owen McKenny also with a touchdown. And the biggest J&J Auto collision of the first half goes to McKenny for a big pancake block that he had on the outside as well. 35-0 here. The Irish are up 49-0. At the half, Shepherd trails 48-0. So a whole lot of running clocks going on with our local schools. We can see if we'll find out what's happening with Ithaca, Clare, and Mount Pleasant at the half as well. But things are looking good here. If you are the Beal City Aggies, you are looking like you're going to coast now to 3-1 Fell to McBain last week, and now you got to hope somebody can knock off this really solid McBain team, try and get a tie for the top of that Highland Conference Championship. But you can't win it every year, or as I say that, I think they've won 20 in a row when it comes to baseball. But 35-0 is our halftime score. Homecoming court heading out right now for the Aggies. We're going to send it off to This Week in MHSA Sports with John Ross and a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about what the Aggies need to do to win this game in the second half. And it's pretty simple to run some clock and get out of here without any injuries. Time for This Week, MHSA Sports with John Ross on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
For decades calling high school sports on the radio, and more kids than ever are playing high school sports. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. For the last 40 years, listeners to Sheboygan football games on WCBY have heard the same voice.
Mike Grisdale tonight, a very sunny evening here at Western Avenue.
Mike Grisdale has been on the air calling games for Sheboygan since 1985, and on Friday, September 13th, Sheboygan named its press box after Grisdale. In addition to football, he's called nearly 1,000 Sheboygan basketball games as well. And the game he called after having the press box named for him turned out to be quite a thriller. Elk Rapids took a 23-0 lead over Sheboygan before the Chiefs scored 30 straight points to win.
And that'll do it. Chiefs come back from 23 down, and they are going nuts on the near sideline.
Adam Burry, a little bit of spirit there to him. Awesome. Great for these guys.
Final score, Sheboygan 30. Elk Rapids 23. The Chiefs go 2-1.
That comes courtesy of WCBY. Nate King is Grisdale's broadcast partner. Subscribers to the NFHS Network can also hear Grisdale's call of Sheboygan games. Just go to NFHSnetwork.com. And for more on Grisdale's story, please check out MHSAA.com. It's time for Game Balls, when we highlight a trio of standout performances from the past week. First, Manchester's Jesse Sangster. He scored 4 times in a 5-1 win over Leslie and is now the all-time leading soccer scorer at Manchester with 94 career goals. Big Rapids tennis player Ari Ziska, he won his 103rd individual match against Vicksburg, making him the school's all-time leader. And at Union City's Gracie Phelps. She had 86 assists, 11 kills, and 36 digs during the Charger Classic, helping lead Union City to a tournament title.
Have a recent high school grad? They could qualify for a tuition-free skills certificate or associate degree through the new Community College Guarantee, no matter their GPA or your household income. Or if your child plans to attend a 4-year university or career school, the Michigan Achievement Scholarship Program has them covered. They could get up to $27,500 toward a bachelor's degree or up to $4,000 for career training. Complete the FAFSA to get started at mi.gov/achievement.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with registered official Paige Winnie.
In volleyball, a libero is a defensive player who plays in the back row. It's a fairly new position as it was introduced in 1998, and the libero plays by some unique rules. The libero wears a different color jersey from the rest of the team, so they are easily identifiable. Only one libero can be designated for each set of a match. The libero can serve, but cannot perform an overhead set in the front of the attack line or complete an attack if the ball is above the net. The libero is never allowed to rotate to the front line. The libero is the first line of defense, often passing to the setter and covering open spaces. The libero can be replaced without restriction, but in the event of an injury, can only be replaced by the player the libero originally replaced.
Thanks, Paige. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you're interested, please go to the MHSAA website now to register. Participation in Michigan high school sports continues to rank among the best in the nation, despite declining student enrollment. That's according to the annual participation study by the National Federation of State High School Associations. Overall, Michigan ranks 8th nationally with nearly 290,000 total participants. The total counts students for each sport played, meaning students who are multiple sport athletes are counted more than once. This outpaces Michigan's national rank in high school-aged population, which is 10th. Nationwide, participation topped 8 million for the first time ever. For the boys' sports, Michigan ranks 7th overall, with boys bowling leading the nation in participation. Skiing is 3rd, boys golf and ice hockey are both 4th. On the girls' side, Michigan ranks 8th overall, with bowling, skiing, golf, and tennis all coming in 3rd for their respective sports. More than 35,000 students in Michigan play football. That's the most of all sports in the state. For more on participation, including the benefits of playing multiple sports, please visit MHSAA.com. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by the Michigan Achievement Scholarship, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross. We'll be back next week.
When it comes to banking, you deserve a partner committed to putting their customers and communities first. For over 120 years, Isabella Bank has been saving, lending, planning, and investing in your community. When you bank with us, your money stays here, doing good things every day, driving positive change, and strengthening the local community. Isabella Bank. We're local, we're growing, we're staying. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
For grown and mid-Michigan moms, visit Bryant Family Farms in Shepherd. Moms love mums, so show your mom some love with Bryant Family Farms. Bryant Family Farms also offers maple syrup, pumpkins, beef, goats, and fresh-cut flowers, with you pick, bouquet arrangements, and subscription flowers. Show your mom some love this fall with Bryant Family Farms, 3.5 miles south of the casino on South Leeton Road. Visit BryantFF.com or call 989-304-1201. For over 4 decades, ENS Graphics has delivered confidence, trust, and peace of mind by providing their customers with expert service and using state-of-the-art technology. We all know in sports, what's on the inside counts the most. But when it comes to your business, school, organization, what's on the outside does matter. If your business needs anything printed, ENS Graphics can do it. If you want your club, team, organization to look good, ENS can help with that. They take your vision and make it their mission. ENS Graphics, a proud supporter of the Mid-Michigan community and their local athletes. Visit ENS Graphics at their location down in Ithaca or visit their website at esgraphics.com. ENS Graphics, printing all things physical.
Welcome back inside our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report from the Barbary Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. Halftime band getting ready to perform out there for the Aggies. Just announced Homecoming King and Homecoming Queen. A big congratulations to Macy Johnston along with Mr. Owen McKenny. And now Bukovich, Locke, McKenny all travel over real quick to talk with their football squad as well out there on the homecoming court, Mr. Jace Faber. And so congratulations to all the football players. And then one of my absolute favorite things to see, Ben Gottschalk is down there. He is ready with, I believe it's the saxophone that he might have, an instrument way cooler than anything that, well, I guess I can't play any instruments. So band heading out to perform for halftime right now. And once we get a better crowd, Mike, we might start to do some halftime band stuff. But what I'm wearing, the headset right now, it's made to pick me up here real close. And so we're not going to, do the disservice of the band and try and, have you hear them. Do have an update, 42-0. First half call due to lightning. Officials still checking MHSA on rules. That's down in Ithaca. So Ithaca's up big, but they have some lightning issues down there. I do know Mount Pleasant is up 14-6 at the half on Traverse City Central. Hall of Fame night there. Shepherd down big to Ogham Heights. Sacred Academy up big on Byron. Just waiting on one update, see if we get something from the Clare Pioneers. Kind of let everybody know what is going down with everything here in the Mid-Michigan area. We're going to take another break here on our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report. Hear from our friends at Bryant Family Farms and Barbary Law Firm. And Bryant Family Farms is open 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow. I'm going to go get my mom and mum tomorrow. I suggest you do the same thing. We're back with more of the Gates Drilling and Service halftime report right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
For grown and mid-Michigan moms, visit Bryant Family Farms in Shepherd. Moms love mums, so show your mom some love with Bryant Family Farms. Bryant Family Farms also offers maple syrup, pumpkins, beef, goats, and fresh-cut flowers, with you pick, bouquet arrangements, and subscription flowers. Show your mom some love this fall with Bryant Family Farms, 3.5 miles south of the casino on South Leeton Road. Visit BryantFF.com or call 989-304-1200.
Hey, Rowan. Want to toss the ball around?
No thanks.
A quick game of chess?
Maybe later.
Want me to teach you to ride a bike?
Papa, we did all that when I was little.
I guess you're right. Marbury Law's kept me so busy, time has just flown by.
There is one thing, though. You got any cookies?
Thought you'd never ask.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back inside our Marbury Law Studios here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. I do see the Gladwin football Facebook page 16 minutes ago. Corlew with a 14-yard touchdown reception. Gladwin up 7-0 as of 16 minutes ago or so over Clare. And again, that is a huge game. Ogama Heights beat Gladwin last week 12-7. If Clare wins this week, you feel like that's going to kind of be the matchup for that Jack Pine 1 with Clare and Ogama Heights. And again, our plan next week is to be down in Vesterberg for our first 8-man football action with the Sacred Heart Academy Irish, who are up big this week on Byron, looking to move to 3-1 on the year. But it's all going to depend on who we got a spot to set up down there. I went down there to test out the internet. It was efficient enough for us to be down there to bring you a high school football game. But where we'd set up, we might take up a whole lot of bleachers there. The press box, if you've been to Beal City and Vesterberg, take about 5-10 feet off of both sides of Beal City's press box, and that's about what you're at Vesterberg. And so talk with the AD down there, make sure we are good to go Monday. But if we're not able to bring you that game, we're hoping to possibly bring you some Clare and Ogama Heights action. Right now, Gladwin, last check, up on Clare 7-0. Here, our game, it's all Aggies. Drew Block, 4 first-half touchdowns. Owen McKenny also with a TD himself to score 35-0 here at the half. In our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report, band out there doing a great job for Beal City performing at halftime. And I believe it was the juniors that had the best float out here in Beal City, so I will give them a little bit of love as well. We'll take another break here on our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report. When we come back, talk about what the Aggies got to do to hang on to win this one here in the second half and kind of look forward to what else is coming up here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Time for a quick break. We'll be back with more right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes, working hard and showing pride for our community. For all of your real estate needs, go with Joe. Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-817-1291. Weber Brothers Sawmill has been in the sawmill and logging business since 1950. Weber Brothers Sawmill buys standing timber and logs all over central and northern Michigan with National Hardwood Lumber Association certification. You can be assured of a professional job, from the marking and cruising of your woods through the harvest. Weber Brothers Sawmill is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back inside the Marbury Law Studios here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, built by Konwinski Construction. Again, halftime scores as we kind of go around here. Shepherd down big to Ogama. There's going to be a running clock there in the second half. Sacred Heart up big on Byron. There's going to be a running clock there in the second half. Beal City up big here on Houghton Lake. There's going to be a running clock in the second half. Mount Pleasant, Clare in different situations. Well, I guess I should say Ithaca, if they're able to re-continue tonight, they'll have a running clock as well, as they're up 42-0 in that one. 5 minutes left in the first half when play stopped due to a lightning delay. You know, a couple close games, and I'm going to start to keep an eye on. Clare trailing Gladwin 7-0 last I knew it. Again, I just looked at a Gladwin Facebook page, had a touchdown update, and Clare's kind of updated all their touchdowns really well on their first Facebook page, so I haven't seen anything there yet. So 7-0 is what I'm going to say the score is, with Gladwin and Clare approaching halftime there probably. At the half, Mount Pleasant leads Traverse City Central 14-6. Shepherd down big to Ogama, and Sacred Heart Academy up big on Byron. That is kind of the roundabout of what's going down here in the Mid-Michigan area with our local high school football action. Again, our score here, it is all Beal City. They lead it 35-0 at the half. We're going to take another quick break here to hear from our friends at the MHSAA. When we come back, talk about what's coming up on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
As the voice of Michigan's student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports should be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic athletes can thrive.
We believe that athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe that students in the stands should have fun,
but not take away the focus from the game.
We believe coaches should act like teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and support their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports,
and respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while keeping a high level of respect between all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game.
Welcome back inside the Gates Drilling and Service halftime report. Nice message there from the MHSAA and some of the folks from the Student Council would have been on there, 2 years ago, I believe. And our score here, 35-0. It is all Beal City with the lead. Be a running clock in the second half when we start things off. But coming up on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, next week we've got more volleyball action for you as Ithaca hosts Hemlock as I make my next trip down to the land of the South for the Mid-Michigan Sports Network and the Ithaca Yellow Jackets. They take on Hemlock. And then next Friday, football action, Sacred Academy at Vestaburg. That is the plan. Again, if things don't work out there, the plan is to possibly be up at Clare as Clare hosts Ogama Heights in a game that could decide the Jack Pine 1 conference. Aggies out there playing the marching band or playing the fight song right now, and to continue to talk about the other broadcasts coming up here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. And if you go to midmichigansportsnetwork.com, you will be able to find the whole laundry list of, I'm talking every game. Every game when it comes to volleyball, football, girls and boys basketball. With Ithaca, Clare, Shepherd, Sacred Heart, Beal City, and Mount Pleasant. It is all there on one page. So go to midmichigansportsnetwork.com, over to that All Schedules tab, and you will be able to find everything there. All right, here's what's coming up on the MMSN. I don't know when I'll start breaking that down. As I said, next Wednesday, Ithaca hosts Hemlock in volleyball action. Next Friday, Sacred Heart Academy is at Vestaburg. Then next Tuesday, Sacred Heart Academy hosts Breckenridge in a huge MSAC volleyball game. Those could actually be the top two teams in the state in Division IV. If Breckenridge is in Division IV this year, sometimes they're in D3 with some of the sports. But that is going to be a big-time matchup. I believe last I looked, they're both 16-2, something like that. So they could be 20-win teams by the time they play. It'll be the beginning of October. And then Thursday, October 3rd, we double up the football action for you again as Sacred Heart Academy plays on Thursday as they host Fulton. And then we're traveling to Everett in the grandstands at the fairgrounds to bring you some football action as Beal City is at Everett. That next Monday, more volleyball action as Shepherd hosts Ithaca. Then Thursday, October 10th, more volleyball action as Mount Pleasant hosts Bay City Central. And then Friday, October 11th, Shepherd hosting Clare, most likely like 98% Shepherd Clare. But also Mount Pleasant is at Traverse City West. And so I do know that if we picked up that game, there could be a lot of listeners. And so a lot of action coming up with volleyball and football here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. And just wait till we get to basketball because things are going to get even crazier then, because once we get to January, once we get to February, we are looking at pretty much 3, 4, sometimes 5 games in a week with double headers and whatnot. And so we're going to be ready to bring you some basketball action with the girls and the boys. And baseball, softball also right around the corner. Don't have all those schedules put together yet, but once we get them, we'll kind of put together that schedule as early as we can. And I think the game plan for the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, once we get to spring, might be, if I'm not doing anything else, not working the other job or anything like that, it might be like, hey, it's a nice day. Let's go call ourselves a baseball game. Beal City leads at 35-0 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, and a little bit longer of a halftime here for homecoming. We're going to keep it right here and talk about some of the action. Think about that Zaid Batchelder, baller of the game, front runner. Right now it is all about Mr. Drew Block, who's had some nice plays defensively and also plunked in 4 touchdowns in that first half for the Beal City offense. And both these teams got a lot of youngsters on their roster. When you look at the Bobcats, there is just a host of freshmen and sophomores, and I imagine some of them up for fifth quarter play. But these are two teams that are only going to continue to improve from this game and going forward. And it's really, really scary to think about. This sophomore class is similar to that senior class last year with Beal City that graduated, I think, 14. But you think about Hunter McDonald, Drew Gross not out there due to injury, Wyatt Wilson as well. So Aaron Locke, Kyler Smith, Eric Elias, all players on that sophomore team were up, playing quite a bit out here as well. And you think about, you don't have Gross, you don't have Wilson out there, who might be two of your top players despite them being sophomores, and still coming out here and performing this way here in this first half. 35-0 is the score here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. I'm getting a handshake right now from Brad. And things are going good when he oh my gosh, I did. And Brad Ancliffe just came up here and gave me the fist pound that we hadn't done for so long. And it just hit me and just realized it, that before every baseball game, their last two state championship runs, we just gave the knuckles. He came up and said, "What's up, man?" It took me a second, like, oh, yeah, I didn't go down there and knuckle him up. But good to know not everything is all superstitious, Brad. But when you're a baseball coach, I feel like that is just the way it goes. You wear the same socks, your team wins. They don't mind wearing a dirty pair of socks as long as your team keeps on winning. 35-0 our score as we are ready to start the second half. Again, Beal City is going to come out with a running clock here in the second half. Not going to see them probably do anything fancy, keep the ball on the ground, or even if you throw an incomplete pass, the clock will continue to move here with that lopsided score. Coming to you from the Barbary Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. Thanks so much for listening to our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report. Bill's Custom Fab, fabrication of the game. When you got a 35-0 lead, it's hard to pick out one play, but I think it's the tip from Drew Block and the interception from Drake Gatrill, because Houghton Lake, they moved a little bit on their first drive. They kind of had some moments here and there, but that interception, I believe it was 14-0 at that point, set the Aggies up at the Bobcat 10-yard line. You just kind of feel the air come out of Frank A. Schaefer Field, or at least on that far sideline with the Bobcats. Here we go, start of the second half. Back deep to receive, it's McKenny. It is Block. Here comes the kick from the Bobcats. It's going to go out of bounds. Aaron Locke give it a little bit of chase, but he doesn't even really have a chance to field it, so it'll be first down and 10. Beal City at their own 35-yard line. Again, once they snap the football, that clock's going to start running, and this second half could end up going pretty fast unless the Bobcats are able to punch one in, make things a little bit closer. 35-0 the score here. Again, if you're watching, you see it at the top there. Isabella Community Sportsplex. It's their open house, Sunday, September 29th from 3 to 6 p.m. It's going to be a lot of great local organizations there as well at Martin Ice Arena, Morey Courts, and the brand new Morey Gymnastics Center. If you haven't checked that out yet, you got to go check it out. Under center are the Aggies. Short run up the middle for Beal City. On the carry is Drew Block. He only picks up 2 or 3. That might be his shortest run of the day. As I say, they had one, his first or second carry might have just gone for a yard or 2 as he had to fight for it. But again, that's how successful the Beal City offense has been. I think, he only picked up 3 there, because they have been 7 yards, 8 yards, 12 yards, 15 yards, 7 yards. That's how the drives have gone for Beal City. It's been one big play after another for the Aggie offense. Second down and 8. Drew Block is the deep back. 2 wide receivers. It's Kyle Martin and Drake Gatrill. 2 wing backs are going to be Garrison Zucker and Owen McKenny. McKenny goes in motion. They pitch it to Block. He loses it on the ground. He now has to reverse field, but he's got an opening into the open field. He's going to be brought down. A great open field tackle from Ryan Gallia out there, the freshman, but Drew Block, he got put on the ground. He used his vision there because he was supposed to be going to the near side of the field to his right. There wasn't an opening there after he had dropped the football, so he reversed field back to the left and found an opening, picked up first down yardage, but there is a flag on the field. And a lot of times when you have the broken play like that, it's going to come back. And so it will be a hold on Beal City, but it occurred right near the first down yard marker. And so bring up second down, and we'll call it 10 or 11 here. It is one of those odd plays just where the hold occurred was downfield, and so it's not going to back up the Aggies. Now just kind of like they threw an incompletion on first down. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Kyler Smith trotting back out with the play. The penalty does stop the clock. 10:52 left to go. Now they tell him to wind it after the ball gets set. Smith will go under center. The deep back remains Drew Block. Wing back stays Zucker, stay McKenny. Sends Zucker in motion and run it with him as a lead blocker. Drew Block runs through one tackle, carries 2 Bobcats with him for first down yardage. Drew Block might have had 4 TDs in the first half, but he is still running out here like it's a 7-0 game. First down yardage for Beal. That'll move the chains, but the clock will continue to move. 10 or so left to go here in the third quarter. And as we continue to try and test things out here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, we took away the scoreboard clock, wondering if that would help with our data or something like that. And I am no expert, but hey, maybe it is doing a little something. I can always update you on that score, down, distance, and all that. First down and 10 for the Aggies. They lead it 35-0, so we go under 10 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Austin Small gets it on the jet sweep, or the handoff on the sweep, you could call it. He's going to pick up 7 or 8 yards on the far side of the field before he is brought down. Get other scores. Looks like a close game. Last I saw, Gladwin up 7-0 on Clare. Mount Pleasant led Traverse City Central 14-6 at the half. And Shepherd was down big to Ogama. Sacred Heart and Ithaca up big in their games. And so we're going to have a whole lot of running clocks with Shepherd, with Sacred Heart, and with our Beal City Aggies here. And then 2 of our team, and Ithaca as well, pardon me. And then our other 2 teams, Mount Pleasant and Clare, look like they might be enthralled in battles on this Friday night. 2nd down and 2 for Beal City. Deep back is now going to be Owen McKenny. They hand it off to McKenny. He's got first down yardage as he carries tacklers with him down to the 32-yard line. McKenny got contacted about the 40 and just took a host of Bobcats with them for an extra 7-8 yards. And there's been many differences in this game, but every time the Beal City running back is contacted by a Bobcat player, they're still picking up 3, 4, 5 yards after that initial contact. A big shout out to my buddy Adam Gursky here on the camera, helping me out to bring you the best coverage possible on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Shout out to my brother and the fam for watching the dog here tonight. On under center is going to be Kyler Smith. More shout outs to our great sponsors like WW Construction, Bogwat Bang and Bradley, Gross Farms, and Brad Gross Electric. Handoff goes to McKinney. A great cutback at the line of scrimmage. Should have been brought down right at the line. That cutback was able to help him get 6 or 7 yards. More of our great friends, Rick's Food Center, Doozy's Ice Cream Place, Boomer's Lawn Care, Sean Powers and the crew at Mid-Michigan Industries, Walt Berry and the crew at Berry Funeral Home, and also shout crew Schaefer's Bait and Sporting Goods. You're only as good as your bait, so stop by and see the crew at Schaefer's. Beal City taking their time coming in with this play. And again, we've got a running clock here in the third quarter because the Aggies are up 35-0. 7:30 remaining here in the third. Again, things are moving fast here. Beal City wants to take all the time that they can here on this possession. And that was the danger if you're Houghton Lake, letting the Aggies get that 5th touchdown of the first half. They can salt away a whole lot of this clock. McKenny dropping back, looking to throw. He's pressured in the backfield. He rolls out to his left. He turns the corner. And he picks up first down yardage, I believe, on the far sideline. Did not have the best angle to see exactly where he went out of bounds, but it will be a first down for Beal City. And kind of a broken play there for Kyler Smith as well as he picks up the yardage. And again, the clock continues to move, and this is exactly what you wanted if you're Beal City. Neil Finnerty heading into the lineup now for the Aggies, placing Garrison Zucker at running back. Or maybe wingback, or maybe wide receiver. If you're Beal City and you play running back, you're also going to be asked to play some wide receiver as well. Finnerty will be lined up as the deep back. Eric Elias out there as one of the wingbacks. Send a man in motion. They hand it off to Finnerty. Finnerty up the middle, carries tacklers with them down inside the 20-yard line to the 18. And again, the clock continues to run here in Beal City. These kids might get a little early out here for might get out a little early for homecoming. But then again, it was kind of a long first half with the 5 Aggie touchdowns on the board. 2nd down and short. Zucker is going to trot back in with the play, saving a little bit of run for the quarterback, Kyler Smith. That's one thing I don't think the quarterbacks get enough credit for. Sometimes they're running to the sideline back and forth between every single play. Smith goes under center, Finnerty behind him. Sends Zucker in motion. Finnerty is going to get the handoff. He's going to be hit right at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down. A nice defensive play out there from the Bobcats. I believe that was big 73 Brady Oster in on the tackle that time. Actually, Nick Trader on the stop there. Third down for Beal City. This would be four-down territory. Kyle Martin does have the leg to kick it from here. I don't know. Maybe if you are Beal City, you do want to practice that kicking game. Good situation for Coach Gross to be in, to think about, hey, we could practice the kicking game out here a little bit if we want to. Finnerty, Small will be on the backfield. Skylar Smith goes under center. They're going to hand it off to Austin Small. Looks to get that outside edge. He's got it. Burst through a tackle into the end zone. Touchdown, Austin Small. Another senior on the board for Beal City. His first of the night, and it is now 41-0. Aggies with the lead over Houghton Lake. What a homecoming night it has been for that backfield. All three of the starting running backs per se, McKenny, Block, and Small, all have a touchdown. Out there looking to go 6 for 6 on the extra point is Kyle Martin. McKenny out there for the hold. Decent snap, decent hold, and the kick is up and good. It is all Beal City here at Frank A. Schaefer Field on homecoming night. Our score, Beal City 42, Houghton Lake 0. Back with more on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network right after this.
Block Electric Company is a proud supporter of local schools and high school student athletes, learning skills in and out of the classroom to lead our communities tomorrow. Good luck to all student athletes from Block Electric, and go Aggies!
The Diner, where homemade favorites come to life every day for breakfast and lunch. From fluffy pancakes to savory sandwiches, the Diner has your cravings covered. Discover the perfect blend of comfort food and camaraderie at the Diner. Join them every Friday night till 7 for their famous fish fry. The Diner on North Mission, Mount Pleasant.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back inside our Mid-Michigan Sports Network, built by the studios, Barberry Law, built by Konwinski Construction. Also, a big shout out to our friends at WW Construction, Gross Farms and Brad Gross Electric, Bogwai, Banga, and Bradley, Barry Funeral Home, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, ENS Graphics, and GNS Mechanical. Think about that Mumford Oil and Gas Supply assist of the game. There hasn't really been a lot of throws out here, but I'll give credit to Aaron Locke for having a great block downfield for Drew Block earlier. That will be our Mumford Oil and Gas Supply assist of the game. The Weber Brothers Sawmill Timber of the game. Whew. Well, there was a lot of nominees because Beal City has been very strong up front offensively. Beitler Wilson is out this game. McDonald, Leonard, Faber, Hooks has been in there doing a great job. Same thing defensively, whether it's been Sienkiewicz, Irvin, Beitler, Leonard, Bakovich, Gatrill, just a fantastic job all the way around for Beal City, but that's kind of what happens when you're up 42-0. Running clock here in the second half. Bailey takes the kick on the far side of the field, looking for some space. He's going to be brought down just outside the 30-yard line. That's where Houghton Lake will start this possession. And if you're the Bobcats now, let's just go out there and try and make something happen offensively. Again, they do have a lot of sophomores and freshmen up, whether that's fifth quarter rule or they're up to actually get out there and play some varsity minutes. I think we could start to see that trickle in for both teams here in this second half. And a big shout out to some of our sponsors, Bryce Updegraff and Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. Appreciate all the support. Those others are giving us to be here, Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Big lead for Beal City. Running clock as Houghton Lake hands it off to Kane Graham, looking to get that outside edge. He turns the corner, get by Drew Block. He's going to go out of bounds. Believe he got first down yardage before he stepped out of bounds, and they will give him first down yardage. But the clock will continue to move after that big run from Kane Graham. And I was keeping track in the first half of how many times is Kane Graham getting the football But once the score got out of hand, doesn't really matter anymore if you're Beal City. You still want to shut this guy down, but now you don't have to worry about that one or two explosive plays that he can make to get this team back into the game because you got the running clock and you lead it 42-0. Shout out to Jessica Vautrin, crew, Bill's Custom Fat for being great sponsors here tonight. And again, Isabella Community Sportsplex Open House coming up Sunday, September 29th from 3 to 6 p.m. Be there. Throw it out on the wing. It's going to be caught by Bailey. Going out of bounds near the first down yard marker are the Bobcats. And still some starters in there for Beal City, but some backups starting to trickle in. And you can feel a little aggression coming out of the sails for the Beal City defense. And it's just hard not to have that at this point. You lead it 42-0, 2:50 left to go in the third quarter. Things just kind of winding down here. Bobcats head back to the offense. And give them a lot of credit. There has been no quit out there for this Houghton Lake Bobcat team and Coach Ryan Searsaw. Scotchless has continued to try and do everything he can for his team. He's lined up in the shotgun right now. Looking to his left, throws it over the middle. It's going to be incomplete, almost intercepted. Diving to try and come up with it was Austin Small. It went through the hands of Tyler Bailey. Second down to get 10. But again, with that incomplete pass, the clock continues to run with that lopsided score. And a running clock, Shepherd trailing Oklahoma Heights. A running clock, Sacred Heart Academy on top of Byron. A running clock here, Beal City on top of Houghton Lake. A running clock, Ithaca up big in their game, but they had some lightning delay issues as well. The two games, it seemed like they're kind of tight. Last I knew, it was 14-6, Mount Pleasant on top of Traverse City Central at the half. And we're going to try to look at that Gladwin football Facebook page again to see if anything happened there with the Gladwin and Clare game as I distract myself looking down at my phone. The Blue Jays do get on the board with a Mason Eisenberger touchdown pass. It's now 54-12 there. Again, you give some credit to this young Blue Jay team. I think 15 of the 20 or so, or 15 of the 22 or so are sophomores, and so they're going to get a lot of experience going forward from this year, but things not going their way tonight. You continue to try and look for those scores. Clare Pioneers and Gladwin, still nothing coming from the Clare page, which should update with every touchdown, so we'll continue to update you on that. Trying to find some room now as Scotchless here to the near side. He's going to be brought down immediately near the line. Well, not immediately. He kind of scrambled out for a ways. Then he's eventually brought down. Again, Scotchless doing everything he can, trying to find a receiver downfield, but there was just nobody there. It's third down and long now. 1:40 left to go here in the third quarter. Again, it's been all Beal City all night long. Houghton Lake's first drive took 5 or 6 minutes off the clock. They picked up a first down or two, but since then, it's been all Beal City. Every time Beal City's touched it, they have taken it into the end zone. Doesn't matter if it's been 65 yards they've needed to go, or there was one drive they only had to go 10 yards. Next week, Wednesday, we got more volleyball action for you with Ithaca hosting Hemlock. Next Friday, it's going to be Sacred Heart Academy at Vesterberg. High school football action. Our first look at the Irish. We'll see them 3 times towards the end of the year. Scotchless rolls out. They hand it off, trying to find some misdirection. But right there, right away to bring down the ball carrier is Mr. Nick Bogue. That'll be the easiest tackle Bogue has all night or maybe all career. So they're trying to run some misdirection when they handed it off to the running back Bourne. He didn't have any forward momentum because they were trying to fool the defense. He took one step, and right there was Nick Bogue for the tackle. Now 4th down and long for the Bobcats. 35 seconds left to go in the third quarter. I believe the Bobcats will have to snap the football here in this third. But Beal City ran a good, 6, 7, 8 minutes off the clock on their drive to punch it in to go up 42-0. Now the Bobcats are going to take off the rest of this third quarter. They will call timeout here on this 4th down. And Clare does get into the end zone. Jaden Arthur with the TD. It is now tied up 7-7. Again, that was 23 minutes ago from the Gladwin Facebook page. We'll continue to update you there on everything we can, but got a couple close games going on. Mount Pleasant battling Traverse City Central. It was 14-6 at the half. and Claire Gladwin apparently tied up at 7 apiece. But the rest of our teams, Shepherd is down big. Sacred Heart Academy, Ithaca, Beal City here, all up big. It's 42-0 here. Beal City with the lead. 18 seconds or so left in our third quarter. It's 4th down and long for the Bobcats. In this situation, do you punt it away? Do you try and go for it here? I really don't think there's a bad choice for Coach Searsaw. This game has pretty much been decided. What does your team want to do, maybe you say? You know, I guess they're going to want to go for it. But here we go. Timeout is over. 4th down and 14 play from midfield. Looking out there. Starters that I still see out there defensively are Kyle Martin, Austin Small, Garrison Zucker, Drake Gatrill. Other than that, I think you got some more of the backups in there as well. Aaron Locke still out there. Neil Finnerty lined up at defensive end. 4th down and 14 for the Bobcats. They're lining up like they're going to go for it here from midfield. Scotcho is rolling to his right. Rolling to his right. Bogue giving chase. It's going to be caught, but it will not be enough for the first down. And so the ball is going to go back to Beal City. The clock will continue to roll. We will reach the end of the third quarter. The clock will finally stop. We're heading to the 4th. It is all Beal City, 42-0 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Mount Pleasant Heating and Air Conditioning has been family-owned and serving mid-Michigan since 1962. They're dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business. Mount Pleasant Heating and Air Conditioning is locally owned and supports our local community. For all of your heating and air conditioning needs, call Mount Pleasant Heating and Air Conditioning at 989-772-2881. Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway, Mount Pleasant. Bryce Updegraff with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates thanks the coaches and officials who put in the time to help student athletes achieve their dreams and goals. For all of your real estate needs, the Bryce is right with Bryce Updegraff. With Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-620-6595.
Back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back inside the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Our score, 42-0 here. Oh, big update coming from Gladwin. 19-yard touchdown reception. Jaden Arthur to Ryan Louch. The Pioneers now up 14-7 on Gladwin. Again, with Ogama Heights up big on Shepherd. Claire beats Gladwin. Oh, boy. We've got a big decision to make next week. Again, right now we are planning on being down in Vesterberg as long as our broadcast location works out good. Myself and Adam Gursky probably head down there Monday or something, maybe stop at the Riverdale Tavern, get ourselves a burger, and then check everything out there. But if things don't work out, I think we got a pretty good backup plan in place with Claire Ogama Heights. And Claire just going up 14-7 moments ago against Gladwin. Last check, Mount Pleasant up 14-6 at the half against Traverse City Centrals. 2 of our games still kind of in doubt, but 4 of them, Ithaca up big, Beal here up big, Sacred Heart up big, and Shepherd down big with our 6 local schools as far as they are concerned. Neil Finnerty with a big hole up the middle. He crosses midfield, now turns on the jet, sprinting to the end zone. The senior, Neil Finnerty, goes 60 yards for the tutty, and it's now 48-0, Beal City. And the hole opened up wide enough for a semi-truck to drive through for Finnerty. I think I might have picked up a first down on that one. My buddy Gursky probably would have gone for 6, but I think after the first down, I'd have had a hitch and a giddy up or gone down. But Finnerty taking it into the house. Now 4 senior running backs for Beal City have gotten into the end zone on this homecoming night. 4 for Drew Block, 1 for McKinney, 1 for Small, and now 1 for fellow senior Neil Finnerty. And that sideline has got to be feeling pretty good right now if you are the Beal City Aggies. The extra point is up and good. So Martin, the senior kicker, 7 for 7 extra points tonight. I don't feel like calling Martin the senior kicker is the way to do it, because when you got a guy who's a kicker, safety, defensive end, it's a little different message than just being out there and doing the kicking duties. But it is all Beal City. 49-0 the score as we come to you from our Barbary Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. I've talked about it a couple times, the Bills' custom fabrication of the game. I go back to that interception from Drake Gatrill. It was a tip ball by Drew Block. And when Beal City got set up 1st and 10 at the Houghton Lake 10, he just felt the air come out of the green and white sideline across the field. But Houghton Lake, Coach Searsaw has his kids continuing to fight despite the lopsided score. They'll have a chance to get the football here to see if they can get into the end zone. Our score right now, Beal City 49, Houghton Lake 0 on this beautiful Friday Night Lights here in Beal City. It's a small patch of rain or two that moved through just enough to keep everything just a little slippery out there. Line up for the kickoff is Martin. Taking their time is Beal City. I'm going to have a stat of the day for everybody after our next commercial break here, because those cheerleaders for Beal City, they do push-ups every time Beal City scores, and so it has turned into a whole lot of push-ups out there for those young ladies. Here comes the kickoff from Martin. He will kick this one deep. It's going to be fielded just inside the 10-yard line on the far side of the field by the Bobcats. They'll run out of bounds after a gain of maybe 15 or 20. And I feel like those are the type of things that you see from the Houghton Lake sideline that kind of tells you this one's all for naught. Bailey maybe could have cut that back to the inside to try and find some room. But when it's 49-0, whew, it is just tough. Out there on the defensive line for Beal City, seeing Joey Frederico. Also lining up, Ben Gottschalk, Neil Finnerty, and Nick Bogue on that defensive line. Zucker, Small, McKenny, Gatrill, Elias. On the far side of the field, it is Avery Smalls lined up. Quick throw here to the near side, trying to find a wide receiver screen. A nice move initially by Bailey, but then Bailey is cracked hard by Gatrill. How about that J&J Auto Collision Report brought to you by Drake Gatrill? Got set up there for the hit as the player kind of got flung towards him, but he made it count. Gatrill having a nice defensive night. He's made some big tackles out there for Beal City from his linebacker position. Also has that interception as well. 2nd down and 7 for the Bobcats. 10:30 left to go in our ball game. Again, the clock is only going to stop via timeout, via touchdown, or a penalty with the big lead for Beal City. And a big bounce-back game for Beal. Fell last week 29-25 to McBain. And talking with Coach Gross, he felt good about how his team played in that one. But McBain, very experienced, very strong. Getting into the open field is Kane Graham. He cuts it back inside, cuts it back again. McKinney's able to bring him down with the shoestrings tackle. But you see, Kane Graham, once he gets into the open field, he is very effective, but Beal City's done a good job containing him all game long, thus the monster lead. Beal City, you also think about Hunter McDonald is out. Drew Gross is out. Also out is Wyatt Wilson. So Hunter McDonald was your starting center. Wyatt Wilson was your starting middle linebacker. Drew Gross could have started at pretty much any position that you wanted him to start at for Beal City. When those three guys come back, this team's going to be even stronger, and you start to think about that D8 playoffs once again. They will be one of the top teams trying to head to Ford Field once again. We're one game away last year, falling to a really good Ubley team in the state semifinals. Tip pass as they look to throw it over to the sideline. Good hands from Kyle Martin to get his hand. Well, Kyle Martin got his hand up, knocked that one more into the air to force the incompletion, I should say. He didn't necessarily knock it down with his hands, but just did a good job getting his hands on it to deflect the pass, made the catch very, very difficult for the Bobcat wide receiver. Clock continues to move despite the incompletion. 49-0 our score. 8:40 left to go in the ball game. It's all Aggies. 4 first-half touchdowns from Drew Block, 1 from Austin Small, and then a second-half touchdown. First half touchdown also for McKenny. It's been Small and Finnerty with the 2 second half touchdowns. Ball is on the ground. Scotchless picks it up, throws it complete over the middle. It'll be very close to first down yardage. It'll depend on the spot, and it will bring up third down for Houghton Lake just inside the Beal City 40. Be under 8 minutes remaining when the Bobcats snap this ball. Beal City, this is definitely going to be 4 down territory for the Bobcats. Scotchless trots out with the play. Aaron Locke still calling out some signals out there. A great job at his linebacker position. Had a couple of huge plays in the first half getting into the backfield. Bring down the quarterback once, bring down a would-be ball carrier. It's going to be a direct snap here to Kane Graham, and he puts the ball on the ground. Gets away from the initial attack in the backfield, and another player. Now he's into the open field after a great juke move. He's across the 25, down to the 20 before he's brought down. Again, you see the athleticism of Kane Graham. If he gets you one-on-one in the open field, he's going to be very difficult to bring down. But again, the clock will continue to move here. Beal City leads at 49-0. Again, still a few starters out there for that Beal City defense. McKenny, Small, Zucker in the defensive backfield. But if you're Beal, you obviously don't want to give up the touchdown. You'd love to have the shutout on homecoming, but that's what's special about high school sports. Those Houghton Lake kids don't care what you want. They're still continuing to fight. Handoff up the middle, and big-time running room for the ball carrier. Getting down inside the 10 is going to be Ryan Gallia, the freshman. And so think about that, just a freshman running the football there for Houghton Lake. These are two very, very young teams. And we'll bring up first down and goal for the Bobcats. We're halfway through this fourth quarter. It is all Aggies leading it 49-0. But the Bobcats looking to get some momentum, some positivity going here, trying to punch it into the end zone. First down and goal from the 4-yard line for Houghton Lake. It's going to be a direct snap to Bailey. Bailey looks to pour it off to the far side. He gets away from one tackle, tries to get into the end zone. He's not going to get there. Getting into the backfield initially, I believe it was Beitler or Irvin to create the misdirection. They got by him, but credit them of the reason why the ball carrier did not get into the end zone. It's now second down and goal from the 1-yard line. In no hurry with Houghton Lake. Again, big lead here. The result of this game is settled. Both these teams now just continuing to try and improve and get better for the next game. 49-0 our score. And it's going to be a fumble, and it looks like Beal City. Owen McKenny came up with it. And it is Aggie football. And so the senior comes up with the stop. And it is a final Ogama 54-12 over Shepherd. As games continue to move fast with these running clocks. It's all Aggies here again. Aggies up 49-0. See if we can get another score update coming from Mount Pleasant. Text to my main man, Thomas McCann, as I know he is there or was there celebrating with his older brother and older sister as they get themselves into the Oiler Hall of Fame. We've got a timeout on the field. We'll take this quick timeout. When we come back, the Aggies pick up a few first downs. They're going to come out of here a big winner on homecoming night. You're listening to High School Football. Aggies on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes, working hard and showing pride for our community. For all of your real estate needs, go with Joe. Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-817-1291. Weber Brothers Sawmill has been in the sawmill and logging business since 1950. Weber Brothers Sawmill buys standing timber and logs all over central and northern Michigan with National Hardwood Lumber Association certification. You can be assured of a professional job, from the marking and cruising of your woods through the harvest. Weber Brothers Sawmill is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back inside the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. It is all Aggies all the time here on homecoming night. Owen McKenny, the homecoming king, just picked himself up a fumble recovery. He's got a touchdown Senior Austin Small's got a touchdown. Senior Neil Finnerty's got a 60-yard touchdown run. And the senior Drew Block has himself 4 touchdown runs. First down 10 for the Aggies. Ball at their own 1-yard line. Play stopped by the officials here for a moment. Now they're set and ready to go again. Kyler Smith still out there lined up at quarterback. Looks like jumping off sides is going to be Houghton Lake. And so, hey, that's a little good news there. If you are Beal City, it's going to move them 5 yards forward to get them a little bit more out of the shadow of their own goalpost. Instead of 1st and 10 from the 1, now it'll be 1st and 5 from the 6. 5 minutes, 4 seconds left to go in this one. Lining back up are the Aggies. Big hole over the near side here for Eric Elias. He's got first down yards as he crosses the 20 out to the 25-yard line. Again, Beal City just continues to roll here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Colin Hamp on the tackle, but the chains move again for Beal City. 4:40 left to go in this game. Again, a couple more first downs, and the Aggies are going to be out of here a big, big winner. Also now pitching the shutout as they got the fumble moments ago. Got your Bird All-American Grill post-game show coming up. Not going to make Gursky go get Coach Gross and let them celebrate with the team's big homecoming victory. 49-0 the score right now. We'll see if the Aggies add anything to it. 4:10 left to go in the fourth quarter. Handoff will be to Elias. Tries to find some room here to the near side. Turns it back inside. It'll be brought down at the 40-yard line. Nice carry from Eric Elias, and he's also doing a really nice job right now of keeping 2 hands on that football. Coach Kraser, high and tight, would be very, very proud. Got a very late flag coming in. Gallia with the tackle. Again, I've been impressed with the freshman Ryan Gallia from Houghton Lake. He's going to be quite the football player for Coach Searsaw and the Bobcats here in the near future. Wait to see the exact setup for the official. It will be a hold, but a hold that occurred even after the first down yard marker. So it'll be first down and probably 4 or 5 on this next play. It's been all Beal City in this one. Bird All-American Grill post-game show coming up. We will talk about Bill's Custom fabrication of the game. Our Zaid Batchelder baller of the game. Weber Brothers Sawmill timber of the game. And I talked about the Mumford Oil and Gas Supply assist of the game. Throwing that one to Aaron Locke for a big block that he made downfield. The Aggies haven't really had to go to the air a whole lot here tonight. 4:01 left to go. First down and 4 for Beal City. Neil Finnerty gets the handoff, dances away from one man, and the senior has first down yardage for Beal City. And the clock is running once again. 3:50 left to go. I can't thank all of my great sponsors enough. Barberry Law Studios that we're coming to you from, built by Konwinski Construction, Gates Drilling and Service, Bill's Custom Fab, Bird All-American Grill, Mount Pleasant Heating and AC, J&J Auto, Weber Brothers, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, E&S Graphics, G&S Mechanical, friends at Mount Pleasant Public Schools, who are hiring right now, bus drivers, need subs, parapros as well, paid training for bus drivers as well, MT Pleasant Schools with an S.net to get yourself started. Okay, Kyler Smith taking all the time he can, waiting for that official to start counting down 5 seconds. They hand it off to Austin Small. Big hole off to the left side of the line for him, and he'll pick up 6 or 7 yards on that initial play. I think over on that left side of the line, I'm just seeing 75 and 52 as they kind of come in and clean it up. Great job by Jace Faber. And Nick Bogue here in the second half. I've called his name a number of times as he's continued to do a great job. And Jason Bogue obviously doing a great job as Sacred Heart. Up big on Byron. Ithaca up big in their game. Shepherd down big in their game. Beal City up big here. 2 close ones. Looking to get score updates from Traverse City Central at Mount Pleasant. Last I knew it was 14-6 Oilers at the half. And last we knew it was Clare on top of Gladwin 14-7 in a huge Jack Pine Conference game. Smith hands it off to Finnerty. He's got a big hole, first down yardage for the senior. He's going to be tackled just outside the 40-yard line. And this next play for Beal City will be run with under 2 minutes left to go here in the ball game. Big run there for Finnerty. Finnerty might be nearing 100 yards here in the second half, but there is more laundry out on the field, so this one could be coming back. 1:51 left to go here in the fourth quarter, and it's all Beal City. Coach Ancliffe out there on the field giving some hugs to some of the players, including the senior all-sport star Owen McKenny. You think about that Zaid Batchelder baller of the game as we head towards our Bird All-American Grill postgame show. Mr. Drew Block had himself quite the first half, getting into the end zone 4 times, made some really nice defensive plays, and including, I think, the Bills' custom fabrication of the game, combining with Drake Gatrill for the interception as he tipped it up into the air. And so another odd hold past the first down marker that will make it second down or first down and 3 here. But again, doesn't matter if you're Beal. The clock continues to move. You just need to run another couple plays here. You don't even need another first down. Kyler Smith, sophomore, heads up to the line. Big bounce back game from the Aggies here. 2-1 team coming in. You're 2-1 towards the top of the Highland Conference. Hand off to Finnerty. He's got some room again here to the near side. First down yardage. Be under a minute remaining when the Aggies take this next snap, and it could be the final snap of the ball game. What a performance here on homecoming night for Beal City. They lead at 49-0. We do have a player down on the field for Houghton Lake, but he is a lot tougher than I am as he gets up and continues to play. And those are the things that you learn playing at high school sports that you can't learn anywhere else. Hey, you're down 49-0. You got a little hitch in your giddy up. He still wants to be in the game. Just a whole lot of effort out there from Dylan Skokolis, as I probably butcher that freshman's last name there, but what an effort from him. Try and stay on the field. He ultimately has to come out. 30 seconds left to go in the ball game. Kyler Smith looks back at the clock and knows he can snap the football, and that will bring us to the end of the football game. Our final 49-0. We'll take a break here and head back with our Bird All-American Grill post-game show. We'll see if I've got enough time to add up all of the push-ups that these girls did out there. And then we'll talk about our Zaid Batchelder baller of the game. It is the Bird All-American Grill postgame show coming up right now on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, open every day but Sunday for lunch and dinner. Delicious pizza, the world-famous Bird Burger, handcrafted, fresh-baked subs, many apps, and much more. There's something for everyone at The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, where friends gather like family. The Bird, supporting high school sports in mid-Michigan for nearly 100 years.
Jenna Gates
and Kyle Gates here. We are the 5th generation with Gates Drilling and Service.
We've been serving our friends and neighbors in Michigan since 1893.
We have the latest and greatest well drilling technology, allowing us to put in wells where others can't.
Lake lots and tight spaces are no problem.
From our family to yours, thank you, and call at 989-772-7841 for all your well drilling and service needs.
Gates Drilling and Service, where Gates goes, water flows.
Bill's Custom Fab can handle any job you need, from large-scale steel building projects to fixing your favorite stainless serving pan. Bill's Custom Fab can weld and fabricate anything. Call today at 989-772-5817 or stop by on Gover Parkway in Mount Pleasant. Good luck to all of our local athletes from Bill's Custom Fab.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome on into our Bird All-American Grill postgame show. The Aggies a winner, 49-0 over the Houghton Lake Bobcats. First thing, check in on the other games, the other scores. I've already kind of updated you on that. Ithaca winning big, Shepherd down big, Sacred Heart winning big, Mount Pleasant and Clare in close contest. Mount Pleasant with Traverse City Central and Clare taking on Gladwin. I do got an update coming from Thomas McCann, and MP was up 21-7 as Thomas McCann was leaving, and so the Oilers looking like they're in good shape as well, and we'll see if we can check out that Gladwin Facebook page one more time to see if we can get you a score from there as well. But our final here, the Aggies, 49-0 over Houghton Lake. Our Bill's Custom Fab fabrication of the game going to a combination of Drew Block and Drake Gatro for the tip pass and the interception. Just really kind of took the air out of the sails of Houghton Lake. They moved a little bit on their first drive, and it seemed like every drive Houghton Lake moved it a little bit less and a little bit less and a little bit less. And that interception that gave the Aggies first down and 10 at the Houghton Lake 10 was ultimately a pretty big backbreaker. But the biggest honor of the night, Zaid Batchelder, baller of the game. Well, I guess Mumford Oil and Gas Supply assist of the game. Weber Brothers Sawmill Timber of the game. That's going to my man, Aaron Locke. That big block that he had downfield, it was so big to spring Drew Block for that touchdown. I think it was ultimately called back, but it really reminded me of my main man, Bennett Gildy. And if you're making a block down the field like Bennett Gildy did, that is a big deal. Our Mumford Oil and Gas Supply assist of the game, and our Weber Brothers Sawmill Timber of the game, Mr. Aaron Locke. But our Zaid Batchelder baller of the game, I said it in the first half, not a whole lot changed in the second half as the Aggies were able to cruise to victory. Mr. Drew Block, the senior, scoring 4 touchdowns on his senior homecoming night. Pretty darn special. It's going to wrap things up here tonight. Make sure you check out the Mid-Michigan Sports Network Facebook page. I will update you there later tonight, early tomorrow morning on all of our local scores. Again, right now the plan is next Friday to be down in Vesterberg for Sacred Academy taking on Vesterberg in 8-man football. But depending on some things, the way things could go, it could end up being Clare, Algoma Heights. Make sure you stay up to date with me. Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff, and we will have it covered for you. The Aggies, a winner, 49-0 on homecoming. Chris Bachman, Adam Gursky signing off from Frank A. Schaefer Field in Beal City.